Hey folks, Rich here. Welcome back to the RCINFORMER YouTube channel. Sorry I'm late. Little difficulties as usual. So let's see who's in the house here. Looks like Eric's here. Sorry about the late start, folks, but as soon as I turned everything on, I had no audio, so I don't know what happened. So anyway, give me a heads up. I see Eric Quinn's here, and let's see who else is here in the house. Let's see. Give me a thumbs up if you guys got some audio here. And let's see. Demon Got Me's here. Guys, give me some text. Let me know if you guys are receiving everything okay. I want to check my speed test and all that stuff here. I had to close down all my windows, so I'm going to kind of reset everything. So let's see. Flying Fortress RC is here. And let me check my speed test here. Let me know if you guys are in the house here. Let me know how the audio is. Trying to get things situated because I had everything set up, and as soon as I started, I lost my audio. So let me know how you guys are doing there. Let's see, we got Victor. Victor's house. Let's see, Dean Dagner. Joe Pike, voice actor. All right. Keith Christie, Rich, looks and sounds good. All right, good. I'm trying to, I got a new computer, but it's not working. I actually had to send it back, so I got a new, my old computer's working here, so I got to rebuild all my sponsor list and all that kind of stuff. So let's see, Danny Boy's here, Flying Fortress, Jim Ramos is here, Dad's RC. Hey, Rich, cannot say for long, need to take the wife to work soon. Thanks for coming. Dad's RC hangar. David Gastia. John Perry, looking and sounding good from Columbus, Ohio. John Perry, all right. Excellent. Let's do a, we're going to do a speed test for everybody here. Let's do this. Let's go to my websites, which I probably have to reconfigure now that everything's shut down. Let's see what we got. We're going to go here. Let's see if you guys got this window up here. There we go. Boom. We're going to go right to the speed test. I had really high numbers before I started streaming, so let's see what we got. Let's see what this does. This is just to see what kind of signal we got going on. I had 500 and 800, so clearly we suck some streaming potential, you know, as soon as we go live. So here we're at 240, 260. It looks like. We'll see what the upload is, or that's the download. The upload should be a bit higher. Yeah, we're up there good. So anyway, got you guys on here. Let's see who EQ's here. Eric Quinn. All right. Brian Chambers is here. Paul Slade. Thanks for coming, guys. Let me rebuild everything here that I had before. Let's see. There's my my live streaming thing. We can see who's here. And I'm going to go to a couple places. Let's look up. Let's go to Banana Hobby. We'll pull some stuff up there. See what's happening. And we'll start here shortly once I get this all up and going again. So I'll put my backup mic away since you guys are getting good sound. If the sound goes weird like it did last time again, there's a Sirius, guys, available at Banana Hobby. So a lot of stuff's going on at Banana Hobby. Okay, so it looks like we got good speed going. Let's see. All right. Keith Christie here. Dad's RC. All right, let's see. Victor. Victor says he's trying to, still trying to do a couple of video clips from Best in the West. Hey, Victor, if you're listening, hey, what fan are you running in your Hawk? I'm just kind of curious if you're running the 105 fan or the 110 or something. Let me know what you got going on there. All right, we got almost 20 guys here. Let's see what we got. Let me see what else. Sean Peterson's here. Good evening, Rich. Good to be with you all again. Greetings from Durban. All right. Pete is not at Banana Hobby anymore. He used to be there. He was the man. He was the guy that started all this stuff. So started all the YouTube stuff. Danny Keever's here. What's up? All right. Good to see you guys. I got a bunch of extra stuff here. Let me check my upper camera. All right, it's working. Sweet. All right. Let me kill some of this stuff here. See what we got going on here. Banana Hobby stuff again. I'll be showing you guys some of this stuff later. Here, let me get rid of my, oh my God, there's a black hole forming. There's a singularity forming in the middle of my, in the middle of my broadcast here. All right, let's see what we got. A little humor there. Let me get rid of that. Okay, if you go to here, I'll be showing you these things coming up here soon. Not probably today, but these are right here from, these are True Fire LEV afterburners coming from 5280 RC. A little complicated, but this is a dual afterburner set. I'll be showing you guys these later. I just got these in, so, but I'm going to put that aside for the moment. All right, we'll put that away. And let's see what everybody's doing here. So, who else we got here going on? Let's see. Okay, Victor says he's got the 110 780 jet fan on 14 cell. Okay, so guys are running on 14S. So, yeah, I watched some of Victor's videos. Look like there's cool stuff going on there. Tsunami 120 or 20 from Jacksonville, Florida. All right, right up the road. Very good. I got a bunch of batteries. I was putting some things together here, folks. I'm going to put these aside. These are batteries for some of this stuff that we're going to talk about here, but I got behind making up flyers and things like that, so I've got a little itinerary here thing. We'll go over some things. So we'll be showing you guys the A-10 50 millimeter from Banana Hobby, Twin 50 from X-Fly model. It's now at Banana Hobby, so if you guys want to check it out there. I got links in the description as usual. If you guys get something through my channel, it supports the channel. We appreciate that. Otherwise, you know, like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that kind of stuff. Appreciate that. And yeah, Banana Hobby's got cool stuff, guys. Show you a few more things here. Let me throw this thing up here real fast. All the warbirds are there. Now I'm wearing a different shirt today. If this is nuking you guys too much, okay, I'll go to a different shirt if I have to. So, but these are the Ernst Manufacturing shirts, and right here is my my new DYNAM hat. So check this out. The DYNAM dudes sent me this thing. So check this out. This is really nice. It's all embroidered. Look at that. DYNAM. It's all really nicely embroidered. Tomcat on the side. Real nice hat. So DETRUM, DYNAM, Tomcat, all that stuff. So anyway, the reason I'm showing you that and putting this stuff on is because now, as you can see right up here, Zap, DYNAM, and Ernst are all available, guys, at Banana Hobby. So a lot of, or select DYNAM planes you guys will be able to get at Banana Hobby. So, you know, check them out there. Ernst stands, guys. You guys know my stands that I use for pretty much everything. Okay. All available now at Banana Hobby. I think they're going to carry the trays too. So, you know, these guys want Ernst trays, which I use for everything, even when I'm mostly when I'm building stuff. But all available now, guys, at Banana Hobby. So, you know, check it out there. And let's see what we got. Let's see who's here real fast. All right. Dad's RC Hanger says he'll try to get back. Well, check it out because we'll do the unbox so you guys can. You'll be able to see it later, you know, what we show you here. Yeah, Victor, I know the story. I got behind in uploading videos due to work and projects. Yeah, tell me about it. Work kind of gets in the way of having fun. So, yeah, Brian Chambers says, love Banana Hobby. Yeah, what do we got? Francisco Echevarria. From Venezuela. Thanks for coming, Francisco. So I had a student named Echevarria once, flight student. Yeah, the diamond is looking sweet. That's what Victor said. Yeah, I'm actually, tell you what, I'm pretty blown away by the diamond. I didn't kind of know what to expect from it. Okay, I'm going to put this up and put my channel up there. If you guys haven't a chance to see this thing, you know, check it out. I'll put a little video up here of it now. We just put it up 3 days ago. So, you know, the diamond is pretty awesome. I mean, the performance of this thing is wicked, and it's not hard to fly at all. I mean, you know, looking at how it's configured, it looks like it'd be a hard plane to fly, but it is not. It's like real simple, and it slows down nicely and lands well, but it's fast on the stock power system. This is the 105 change sun fan that comes with it at Banana Hobby. So aerofoam. Pretty awesome plane. So check this out. If you guys hadn't seen it, pass it around. And, you know, here, like here's a, see if I can show one of my landings here with it. Yeah, this was, let me go back to the first. Yeah, let me go back a little bit. Yeah, it lands really nice. I'm kind of impressed. You would think you'd have to come in hot because the plane looks like a really hot performer, which it is, but you land it real easy. I mean, it lands real nice. Let me see. Am I coming in here? Yeah, I got my gear down right here. And you can kind of see how that comes in nice. Yeah, beautiful touchdowns and everything. I think I got the brakes sorted out on all these things, guys. I just adjusted my endpoints, made the travel farther, and that actually sounded like it increases the brake. So we'll see. Victor, if you've done that on yours, let me know. And here it is taking off again. And yeah, it performs really nice. It took a long rollout because I was towards the end of my battery there, and then also I didn't have my elevator at full travel. So yeah, it's a nice plane at Banana Hobby, and it's nice. It's really, for the size of it, it's really not too expensive of a model either. So, but you can see by the flight performance how nice it is. This last landing, I kind of greased it on in nicely. You see how it comes in with a pretty nose-high attitude. Again, not super hot. You can see it's landing at a pretty normal landing speed there. You know, mains first. It kind of stays like that. You know, up on you can use your aerodynamic braking and do the wheelie down the runway. So yeah, super nice, guys. So check it out, you know. And again, on the channel, lots of other planes to see. So we did the Diamond L30, or sorry, the L39 as well. So that's a great airplane on grass, great grass performance. So all these planes have tough landing gear and tough landing gear mounts. So as long as you guys, you know, have good grass, you can see you can land it. It handles the grass takeoffs and landings nice. As long as you don't have too many potholes or anything. But anyway, great grass jets. Lots of power, good gear, and good mountings and everything for everything. So so let's see what we got. Let me kill the website thing there. Shut that down, and we'll get on to the unboxing here in a second. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, news and information here. Ernst Manufacturing, DYNAM, and Zap. All available at Banana Hobby now. I kind of talked with them and hooked them up and said, hey, why don't you guys get some stuff from Zap? You know, and then DYNAM, I know they've kind of found DYNAM maybe on their own, but I guess, but the Ernst Manufacturing, I said, hey, why don't you guys carry the Ernst stands? Because holy smokes, like I said, I use these on everything, as you guys know. I use them everywhere. I got the Mega stand right back there. So again, Banana Hobby's got these now. So, you know, check them out there. So anyway, what do we got? Let me see who's here, who's in the house. We got about 26 guys. We'll start here pretty short. Let's see. Dean's saying, speaking of DYNAM, I just got back filmed doing my maiden on my Meteor version 3 that I uploaded to 6S finished. Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty nice little flyer. It'll be great if Banana Hobby will ship to South Africa in the near future. That's from Sean Peterson. I guess you're in South Africa. Yeah, that's a ways to go. I mean, yeah, contact him and find out, you know. I got Carrie's email, carrieLau. She's the Banana Hobby girl. She's the jet girl. So I got her link below. So you can email her direct even and ask her if you can. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. But shipping's all backlogged everywhere. So EQRC, Banana is getting to be as good as... be a good SIT in business. I'm not sure what he said. I have had no problems getting parts and service. Yeah, like I said, guys, Banana Hobby is a whole new place. They started all this foam airplane revolution, you know, and their customer service now is really good, and their support and everything. So, I mean, you know, I've been doing videos with them for years. So, yeah, check it out. Sean Peter said, love watching you fly the Diamond. Yeah, the Diamond is fun, man. All these aerofoam planes are superior to the other larger planes around. They're really nice. Paul Slade said it floats in like something in a bathtub. Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but let's see. Morning everywhere from down under is John T's in the house. All right, let's get it going, says Demon Got Me, so we'll go to that. Let's see. Banana Hobby's always looking for new products, but coming out with a lot of new planes. Yeah. Banana Hobby's getting to be like the place to get stuff now, guys. They're really doing a nice job with their new stuff. Like I said, got the L39, got the Diamond, and you know, I'll hopefully be showing you the T45 here shortly. So shippings and stuff's all backlogged around, and we'll get to that. But also the MB339. Again, if y'all haven't seen the B39, Ian Bowen's here. Thanks for coming, Ian. Flying Fortress RC said, haven't bought from Banana in years. Hopefully their parts support has gotten better. I'll have to check them out. Yeah, check them out, and you'll hear from Eric Quinn and a lot of guys that have, you know, been ordering from them. They're doing a great job with that. And if you have a problem with it, contact me and I'll get a hold of them and tell them, hey, look, you got to take care of this guy. That happens a couple times. So, but for the most part, their service and stuff is really good. Again, folks, if you haven't checked out the MB339, I'm going to throw it back up there real quick and this was let me see, let me put this up here. This is such a nice model, folks, this thing. Let me see if I can find, where did I put that thing? Horizon Banana, there it is. This MB is so nice. Also, they've got, as you can see here, right here, they've got the, at Banana Hobby, the X-Fly T7A, so check that out. Here's the MB. If you guys get a chance, check out this MB339, one of my favorite planes. Had this at Jet Jam, and it was awesome. The flight performance on this thing is killer. On the stock fan, all these stock fans on these planes I'm showing you are the Change Sun 105 millimeters, 12 cell. And the performance is awesome. I was actually out running an Avanti with this thing. And it was like, okay, that's cool. But it performs well. It flies like a fighter. Lands real nice. Slow performance is very good. So I love the MB. And, you know, again, you guys can check this all out at Banana Hobby. Again, all you have to do is go to EDF Jets, hit Foam Jets, and here they are. So here's the X-Fly, as you can see right here. The A-10. I'm going to send them some pictures when I get a few more pictures up. The L-39 that we did videos of, the camo. There's the CCCP you guys have seen. There's pictures of the MB339, as y'all can see right there. Those are pictures I took from Jet Jam. And so is the X-Fly, Sirius right there. That was from I took that picture, and some of those pictures, a lot of those at Jet Jam. And then in the middle here, folks, the Diamond. That's in my front street. So I sent these off to Banana Hobby, so they got some, at least some, you know, some kind of decent pictures to show. And of course, there's DYNAM, guys. Hawker Hunter available, which I have right there, which we'll do maybe next weekend. We'll do an unbox of that, is the hope. There's another MB339 there as well. This is the camo. That one's pretty cool. That's an Italian Air Force camo scheme. So, and of course, they got older models there too. Somebody asked me also about the SU 47, the Berkut. They still have those. They're carrying some of those older planes for some of you guys who want to put them together. And of course, right here, YF-23. So, Phantom, all that stuff. So yeah, they got some of the older planes. Just, you know, check and see what they got. So, all right, let's get this going, folks. The unbox. Sorry about that. Who do we got? A couple guys still showing up. Roach Coach Hellies. He is in there. Philip Bender. Hey, Rich, what's up? Everybody's here. Guys here. All right, let's get on to it, folks. Enough fooling around. I fooled around long enough. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, let's get to this. So, all right, there it is. I have kind of cracked the box open and looked in there a little bit. Let me get rid of some of these pens and pencils. I got receivers here to hook this thing up. So anyway, here we go, guys. This is the, let me lower this thing just a little bit. Okay, this is the all new, actually I should have left that up there. This is the all new A-10 Thunderbolt 2, folks. And this is from X-Fly Models. So this is Banana Hobby. You can get it there. And this is twin. You can see right up front on the box. 1,000 millimeter wingspan. Length is 920, so about the same. And it's got these really nice, I think I might mess this up. They're either 11 or 12 blade fans on this whole deal. And let's see what we got on the side. You can see the X-Fly model stuff. Here, let me see if I can zoom on the specifications here. Actually, let me switch cameras. That's probably easier. Let's go to that. All right, let's take a look at it together since I haven't really totally looked at it myself. So let's see. EPO material, guys. We know the wingspan, length, flying weight to 50 millimeter, 12 blade fans it looks like right there. 4,600 kV brushless outrunner motors. And there's two 40 amp ESCs. So it's 4S powered. So there's where the CG is supposed to be. We're going to try to get this out tomorrow and fly it, me and Gavin. Duration 48 minutes. 9 gram, 4 servos, digital servos in it. Okay, great. Fixed main gear and steerable nose gear. We'll see if you can hand launch this thing. Throttle, ailerons, and elevator. So, and nose gear steering. So no rudders on the thing. Don't need it. It's just sort of a fun intermediate advanced plane to fly. And you can see your battery size here. I've got 2200s, 2600s, and I've got actually like 3200s I'll probably put in there. So build time says 20 minutes. So we'll see. A couple of the pictures here that you guys can sort of check out right here. There it is. You can see the detail. But anyway, let's get into this thing. We'll show it to you from here. Let me pan out just a bit. And looks like we got 30 guys here. That's pretty good for a sort of a Saturday afternoon. And here, let's get this thing out of here. Let's see how this looks from the top view here. Let me modify here my zoom here. Let me zoom that out. No, that's it. So let's get this out. You guys get a bird's eye view here. See exactly how this looks, from the top here. Let's see. Let's get this out. All right, here it is. So that's what you got there, folks. You've got this whole thing set up. Let me lower this down a little bit. Yeah, that'll get back in frame. Let's see. We'll get. Let me raise this back up. Sorry, I had something get stuck on my table there. Just crushing a radio. That's all. That's okay. All right. Let's see. I'll try to keep the questions up. But instruction manual right here. Okay. And then we got wheels right here. The fixed landing gear. That little plastic ring there looks very reminiscent of the T7A trainer. And then we'll pop all these off. I did get into this a little bit. And let's take a look at, here's your vertical stabilizers. So those look pretty nice. Those are clearly glue-on. So not a big deal. You're going to expect that from a smaller airplane, just kind of glue-on. But let's put those down here. Let's get into this thing, get all the material out of here. There's our wing right there. So nice one-piece wing. Very simple, folks, just ailerons, but the detail on it looks nice. We'll get to that here shortly. Look, there's servos and everything mounted. So let me put this aside up here, and then we'll get in here. We'll pull some of this off, and there's your fuselage kind of buried down in there. That'll come out with these. We'll pull these out of here. Throw those to the side. Let's get rid of those. All right. And then here's our horizontal stabilizer and elevator. Again, glue on, but we kind of expect that from a smaller airplane. They're trying to keep the cost down. Anytime you guys go to plastic parts with screws and all of that stuff, it drives the cost up. I love screws. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather have all this stuff screwed together instead of having to glue it, because it just takes a little time to glue it. But it drives the cost up. And this airplane is a cost-effective plane. It's meant to be very inexpensive. So that's kind of why they do it that way. And then here's some Velcro, for the battery. And there's a steering arm right there. So, and then there's our fuselage. So let me switch angles here, and we'll get into this, and we'll pull this right out of here. I think that's really all that's in the box. So I'm going to take the box and robustly discard this. And let me put this down here. In fact, I'm going to get myself. Let me get my chat log back up here, folks, so I can see everybody talking here. Yeah, the A-10 is such a great flyer. Yeah, it really is. And in fact, there's now like 4 sizes of A-10s, like really nice ones that you can get. There's the there's the twin 80 millimeter Freewing makes. There's excuse me. There's the twin 70 millimeter that FMS makes that rocks. I mean, both of those planes fly about the same. And then there's E-Flight's twin 64 millimeter. Okay, now we have a twin 50 millimeter. This is fixed gear, but it's super, super nice. And I'm going to get this. Okay, give me one sec. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get this up on a stand. Let me see if my mega stand will do it. Usually this is kind of a smaller airplane type stand, but I think it might be okay for that. In fact, yeah, that actually works out kind of okay. That's my mega stand with a not so mega airplane on it. So, but yeah, that's how that is. So you've got your fuselage here. Yeah, this is nice, man. This is really cool. So actually, you know what? I probably don't need that at the moment because we're going to build here in a second. Let me get rid of that. We're going to take a close look at all this stuff. You got your fuselage here. I'm going to kind of put it off the edge because I got that pave penny pod right there that sticks out. That's that lower thing that sticks out here. It's a camera pod is what that is. They call it a pave penny pod. And it has all that stuff. We got the wing right here. We've got the horizontal stabilizer, as we saw. 2 verticals. And we may glue those on now. I may kind of save those for later. But you know what? Actually, it seems like it glues on pretty, like that'll all glue on fairly decently. But you got your elevator, or your horizontal and your elevator, your vertical, which again, no rudders. If you wanted to add them, you can cut them out and put them on there. But I don't, for this kind of plane, it's not necessary. Landing gear, instruction manual, and you got a bag of parts. So that's really the detail about it. So let's see what we got. Hurry up with the unboxing, assembly, and do the maiden flight. Yeah, we're gonna try to do the maiden tomorrow if we can. So, also, is this shirt too nuclear for everybody? Is it nuking the camera? Because it looks like I'm glowing watching my TV. So, let's see who all is in here. Just Enough RC is here also as well. Let's see how many guys we got here. Got about 35 guys, so not too bad for the the time slot we're in here. But let's look at some detail on this thing. I'm gonna zoom in here so everybody can really kind of see this thing. This is pretty slick. Look at this thing. Look at the detail on this for a twin 50mm jet. Look at this thing. Look at the detail there on the cannon. Check out the rivets. All the stickers are applied. There's your canopy. Look at the detail on this thing. It's pretty impressive. Look at that. This is I'm sorry, 50mm if I said that. If I keep saying 64, somebody correct me, but it's got this little pod on top. I still don't know what this antenna is for. Someone let me know if you know what that is. But this is very nice for a tiny airplane. These lower ventral fins here are pretty nice. And I'll flip it to the other side. There's my tiger cat in the background, but here we go. Check out the nose of this thing. Look at that gun detail for such a small plane. Got some stuff on the front of it. There we go. But very cool. Look at that. You've got the scoop even around the gun. There's the pave penny pod. Look at the detailing on that. I mean, that's amazing for such a small airplane. Let me back off just a little bit. But look at that thing. Very nice. Very nice there on the engine detail. Even on the tail, okay, we've got your sort of simulated lights back there and your fan. So real impressive. Underside, real nice. Here's a hatch right here. I haven't even seen this thing. Like I said, guys, let's pull this out of here. There's obviously your elevator servos are all joined in back there. So those are probably, there we go, we'll center it up. Make sure it's 90 degrees, but there's your 2 elevator servos, your speed controller down in there. And it looks like that's ready to go. This is magnetic. So real nice. I'm impressed. This is my first time really pulling it out of the box and looking at it. They also did some little details, like right here. They made these plastic corners so they don't ding. And then as we get under here, you can see we got metal threads here. So all 4 of these here, all 4 of these screws right here are metal threads. So we're gonna be able to take that wing off real easy. But cooling holes here, so you can have air enter the front. And here's your nose wheel mount right here, your nose strut mount. And then there's probably some holes in the back. So it's pretty nice, as you can see overall. I'll zoom out here a little bit so y'all can see. Air enters the front right in these holes here, goes through over your speed controller, radio equipment, comes out these holes. So very well thought out. Nice detail here back on the exhaust nozzles, the exhaust pipes, or the tail cones there. And then check out the fans. The fans are slick. Here, let me zoom in. Let me lower my table a little bit. Sorry about that. And then let's check these out. Look at these fans. These fans are cool as heck. Look at the detail on that. Let me try the other side here. Let me see if I can get that in frame better. Yeah, look at that. Look how nice that is. And it's got the little swirl around it. Very cool. In fact, let me switch cameras. See if I can get you guys maybe a little better. I don't know if this camera will show it as well, but let's look at that. Look at the detailing on these little fans, little 50mm. Very cool with the little swirl on the nose. If I'm not mistaken, the swirl is intended even on full-scale airplanes to kind of scare away birds and stuff, because it makes a swirling thing and they kind of get out of the way. I've heard it's for other reasons too, but anyway, there you go, guys. Nice 50 millimeter 12 blade fans. Very, very, very cool. Here, let me zoom back out and see if I can show you any more detail on this. That's your fuselage. And then let's get inside. Look at the cockpit. Look at the detail of that. For such a little airplane, it's got nice cockpit detail. In fact, let me get this off of there and let's look inside. Tongue and groove in the front, of course, you know, and you've got the pilot screwed in, which is nice. Screwed in pilot, and a little bit of ventilation up front, so that's nice. And then there's your compartment for your battery. They didn't put any Velcro there, but they gave you the option. Oh, check this out. They're using this wire wrap stuff. I actually bought a bunch of this wire wrap stuff to use in some of my planes now. Got it at Amazon, and I'll put that in my store you guys can check out. But that keeps everything organized. That's nice. So you can just tape this to one side, or you know, maybe put some notches in here. I'll figure that out later. I'll show you that in the flight demo when I get this set up and ready to go. Here's your steering servo right here for your nose wheel steering. So that lines up and that all just kind of plugs in through here, through that arm. So pretty simple stuff. Everything's labeled well. So this is probably your elevator. Clearly, this is your throttle control. Actually, it doesn't have a label on it. Maybe it came off. But then here's your elevator, and then these are your elevators, because there's two together. Or no, I take that back. This is probably, well, I'm not sure what that is. I'll get to that in a second. We'll figure those out in a minute. And then actually, as I'm looking down in here, I don't know if you guys can see this thing, but there's carbon down here. Let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see that, but there's carbon spars way down in there that run the length of the fuselage, or at least from here back. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Somebody's got to call me right in the middle of a live show. So let me cancel that out. We don't need that. We'll go back to the front view. I'll zoom back out, and we can take a further look. Anybody want to see anything else on this thing? Shirt is fine. Really gives good background for the A-10. Okay, good. That's good to know. That's my Ernst manufacturing shirt. Not sure if y'all can see this, but check it out. Look at that, Ernst manufacturing, guys. Pretty cool. Those guys came to the Pilot Ryan event, and they've been giving me free stands for you guys when I go to the event. So I bring all this stuff to the events, and you know, they've been really cool about supporting RC quite a bit. So, but let's see what we got here. Let me look at the board here a little bit while I got you guys here. Let's see what else. Let's see. Demon Got Me says he's out. Foam looks nice. Yeah, the finish is awesome. It's nice and smooth. Same quality, if not better than, you know, some of the bigger planes out there. So, but here, check this out. This pilot's pretty neat. Let me zoom. I'm surprised such a little airplane, the detail that they put into this thing. I mean, check out the instruments and everything. I mean, that's pretty neat for such a tiny little airplane. I mean, it's just, and the pilot's pretty cool too in there. So yeah, nice for a little model, folks. And the canopy goes on nice. I'll snap this. Let me get my remote here. Got to come up with a better place for my remote, but this goes on and snaps on pretty nice. So pretty cool. I'm going to stick that up there, and I'm watching everybody's questions here. Oh, my sound's crunchy. Is the sound crunchy, guys? Somebody's saying my sound is getting a little bit crunchy, whatever that means. So let me know if y'all are hearing me good or not. So Mikey Likes It says your sound is crunchy. What antenna you questioned is the AWAKS receiver antenna, real-time battlefield recon. Oh, okay. That's what Real Ozark said. This antenna right here on the A-10 is a AWACS receiver antenna for real-time battlefield recon, which is something you need if you're flying at SEF. So yeah, I wish we had some of that when we're flying there. It's like a chaos there, but hey, man. Sometimes you just got to see how you're going to do in a crowd, right? So, all right, this is cool. I like the detail on this is cool. We all zoom in so everybody can see. This is slick. Twin 50 millimeter, guys. If I keep saying 64, just go, Rich, it's 60. Let's see. Sound is okay from Mike Nowland, he says. But look at the detail on the wing. Look at this. Check out the rivet detailing on that. I mean, holy mackerel, look at that. For a 50-millimeter jet, I mean, wow, very nice. And it's one-piece wing, which is awesome. So there's some formation sort of lights there at the back. All the hinges here, guys, are just regular hinges. Let me get on that. But they're laminated. You can see that there's a laminate in there. So if I zoom in here and I open up my Singularity here, they're all laminated, so they're pretty tough. You know, there's more detail. Here's the underside. Yeah, very, very nice. Nice ball links all the way around. So, you know, this is pretty sweet. Very nice. And then here's your plugins for your landing gear, and we'll stick those in there. So I think those just stick in. I don't even think you have to screw them in or anything. And here's your landing gear doubler plates, kind of right here. You know, so yeah, very nice. And then just your 2 wires for your ailerons coming in. They come from, you know, your aileron all the way down, and then those come through the top. So, but great detail. I think this airplane you could probably belly land as well. You might have to take the paved penny pot off, or you might take that off if you land with it. But yeah, ball links are nice. Let's take a look. In fact, let me switch my view again here. Ball links are super nice. Let me see if I can get that kind of. There it is. That's what you got. There's your detail, folks. Not sparing any detail on this thing. I noticed they do have this on the outer hole right here. We'll see how it is when we actually fly. We may need to tone that down a little bit, just from experience looking at that. But it might be fine. I'll know more when I fly it. So, and we'll talk about it when we get it out there. So, no flaps on this model. One interesting thing is, yeah, there's no flaps, but you don't need it. This is going to be just a sort of fun flying airplane. I've seen videos of it flying. It seems like a real nice flying airplane. I love this one-piece wing. It's pretty tough. It's going to flex a bit, but you know, the strength of this seems pretty good. You know, if you push on the middle, it's going to flex a bit, but you know, you got carbon slots. You can see the jig slots going all the way down to join this whole thing together. 2 connectors right here for your ailerons. So, and that's really it. Horizontal stabilizer. I'll go to my upper so you guys can see that. Real nice overall, folks. You can see the detail. Look at that. And the nice thing is on this end, in the center, and also right here, they masked it. So you don't have to peel the darn paint off of it. So, you know, A+ on that. Even that, look at it, look how nice they did. They even masked it there. Obviously they're listening, because when you put the verticals on, you can see you now have a good gluing surface. See that? So now you're gluing foam to foam instead of paint to paint. So these guys are really starting to listen to how we want things, so we don't have to waste time using tape and taking the paint off. So yeah, we are affecting change here, folks. So that's super nice. So did they do it to the underside of the fuselage? I think they did. So yeah, you can see under here, under the tail section. So now when you glue this on, which is pretty darn simple, you know, you're gonna have this in place, okay, like that. And you have, but you're gluing foam to foam, as you can see here. So instead of foam onto paint. So there's a real nice tongue and groove that you can see pretty much right here. Okay, and that's going to go in there, and that's really so. All your verticals can go on there. So nice that they removed all that. I'm real impressed with that construction. It's pretty nice, and that's pretty much your tail assembly. So vertical stabilizers, you can see, super nice. Nice detail all the way around. Again, don't need rudders, but you could add them if you wanted to. You could put servos in there and route them, but not really needed. You know, don't really need it on something like this. So, but yeah, very, very cool. And you can see how that looks. So if I swap cameras, you can see I got the whole tail on there minus the glue. So, but I think I'll get some glue out and we'll glue this on, because it's not gonna just stay on like that. I'm gonna have to get something to keep it kind of in place, and I'm gonna decide on what to use. So here's our landing gear. Here, I'll get this out of the box. I'll go back to the top view again. So let's see what we got. Main gear, you can see that. It's just going to stick in place. You don't even need to use any screws. It just kind of sticks in there, because it's a very light-duty airplane, but it's tough, and you don't need any screws there. And then this nose strut will just stick right in there. And then this little arm right here, as you can see right here, this little arm is going to engage the slot in that front servo for the nose wheel steering. So we'll mess with that. So this wheel's a little tight. I'll probably lube that up or do something with that. So, but everything else is freely wheeling. So, now let's look at the instructions real fast because I haven't even looked at these. I don't know what is going on. So, let's look at that. So, there's your parts. Let's see what we got here. There's your parts right there, which we just went through everything. Fuselage, wing, horizontal, verticals, landing gear. There's your arm right there. There's your steering arm for the inside, and then there's your 4 screws. That's for your wing, to get your wing on. So pretty simple stuff. There's your specs. It goes into all that again. We already saw all that stuff. And then they talk about this in order, but I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to probably go with the tail first. So let's see. But here's your wing. You put that on and you make your 2 connections that you can see right there for your ailerons. And that's what the Y harness is actually. And then your 4 screws right here for your wing. And right up there, it says glue the back on. So I'll probably use CA for that. I think I'll stick some CA in there and get that in place. And I guess we'll probably just do that now, I think. I may use foam tack, but let me take a look and see how it really fits together. And then your landing gear, main landing gear plugs in. And here's your tail, here's your nose section. You can see right here, we'll do this here. Getting the steering arm in there, and that little pin plugs right into that slot of the arm that we just kind of looked at. And after, you know, you got to put your strut through the underside right there. So nice instructions, very good, very easy stuff. And then they show the preferred linkage spot that we kind of talked about. And, you know, I'll leave it there for now and fly it, because if they have it set up that way, it may be good enough. But I'll look at the throws and kind of determine that just from kind of looking at it. You got to get both rods the same. And then there they talk CG 45 millimeters after the leading edge at the root, where the root meets the fuselage. And let's see. And then there you go, sticker diagram, which the stickers are on it already, I think. So at least on mine anyway. So yeah. And then your throws, they go into throws. So, but I'll look at that. I'll eyeball that and kind of see where that probably goes. Speed controller setup guide, pretty nice. So a lot of detail in there. And then here's your Chinese version. And then here's more stuff about programming the 2 speed controllers. So again, if you ever need to reprogram, there it is. But you know, also if you have a crash or something, you got a programming guide in here, because if you crash the plane and destroy it, you can still use the speed controllers often in something else. So it's a good idea to have that manual, kind of have the programming guide in here, because the electronics are usually still useful after you have a plane crash in most cases, not always, but so programming guide is there. So all right, guys, any questions thus far? I'm looking at the board here. Let's see. Roach Coach says, Real Ozark, I don't think there's very many of us here that's actually had an opportunity. If you've had that, it's awesome. I don't know what that's talking about. Got to get me one of these. Yeah, that's right. That's from Real Ozark. I have a free wing version, flies on 4 cell. Oh, there is a free wing smaller one. That's right. But there's a lot of sizes of A-10s now, so it's probably one of the better flying jets, or easier flying jets out there, I'd say, because it has a straight wing. So let's see. We'd love to see how this model flies too. That's from Sean Peterson. We'll get it out hopefully tomorrow. Me and Gav, we're going to go out and fly the darn thing. So tomorrow, hopefully. Like the yellow top bit. Hard to see the plane though. Okay. Well, I can always change my shirt if this is nuking everybody. Yeah, camera picks it up differently, and sometimes I can't see, but I can tell by looking at my screen that like it's like day glow. So if I need to, I can change the shirt if that's bugging everybody. Hamilton's hangar is here. Mikey likes it. I noticed they make an aftermarket nose strut for the A-10. Yeah, that's for a different. You could feel the Burt fighting airspeed. Yeah, some firepower. Victor, just passing by to say hi, getting ready for tonight. Yeah, I hope to be there, Victor. We'll see. I'm so far behind in everything, and we had some family stuff lined up today, and I'm not sure if we're going to totally do all that today or not. So, but anyway, that's what we're going to, we'll see. I'm going to try and get down there. They're doing a night fly there at Osceola, and man, I really wanted to go, but then all of a sudden we had family stuff to do, and it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah. So that's kind of the deal. So Victor's jumping in, see what's happening, and they're going to have more events there that I'll be there at, so check them out, Osceola Flyers. Flying Fortress said, I've had only the DYNAM A-10. So it's definitely yeah, he said so far it's definitely waiting for this one. If you want a smaller one, like I said, this is a twin 50. The fit and finish on this thing is killer. In fact, like if I zoom again, I just noticed some details on this. That's impressive. Look at this. There's actually some, and I don't even know what that is, but there's indentation detail in here. Look at that. Look how nice that is. Usually you don't see that. You see that in panel lines, but check it out. I mean, that's, for a little airplane, man, it's just about as detailed as like some of the bigger ones. So even the free wing airplane, this penny pod has no detail, and it has a screw right through here. And this thing is twin 50 millimeters, you know. And man, look at the detail on that penny pod. I mean, very, very cool. So yeah, I would say, guys, like definitely worth the wait on this. I'm impressed. It's pretty nice. So all right, just looking at some of the other questions. Love the A-10. Hope all is well, Rich. That's from Hamilton's Hangar. Check out Hamilton's Hangar. He's got cool videos. John T says sound is crackling and randomly dropping out. Okay, well, I'm not sure what to do about that. So is anybody else having sound issues? Anybody else having sound problems? So, because I'm using this, is it based on me moving or anything? Yeah, family first, must take second place. Yeah, videos have to take second place. Well, I mean, it was a night fly we were going to. So anyway, I'm still showing a good connection. I'm not showing a dropout. I'm going to stop talking. Jono Edwards says pop or dot. Yeah, Papa Dots. He does all the riveting and the dotting and stuff. So, and if you guys are listening, paying attention, just like I said, give me a heads up. John T is saying my sound is crackling and randomly dropping out. So I can change mics. I can change my microphone if you guys think I should. So let me check my phone, because I often have guys watching me or sending me messages and stuff. So let's see what we got. Nope, not seeing any. Not seeing any major messages. So let me know, guys, if y'all are seeing any issues. Okay, any sound. Is the sound good? Because I'll continue as is. If you guys think sound. Yeah, basically just when you ruffle it up. Okay. I'm only hearing sound crackle when you zoom in and out. Maybe that has something to do with that. Sean Peterson said sound is good. All right, we'll go with it. Unless anybody else complains more or has issues, I'll probably leave it as is. So, Jono says sounds perfect. Jono's got the best comments on my channel, I think, when he comments on my videos. So yeah, that's cool. All right, guys, not bad. 38 folks here. Thank everybody for coming. Appreciate that for everybody showing up. All right, let's see how we're going to get this together. I'm going to go with, shoot, should I do foam tacker? You know what I'm going to do? Because this is a because this is a kind of a tight fit, I think I am going to use my Zappo foam safe. So this is my glue of choice now, folks. Anytime I got foam safe doesn't heat up the foam and melt it, and all these others are good. But again, Zappo foam safe, it's a little pricier than the others, and but you know what? It's not super thin, and it's not like a medium thick. It's kind of somewhere between. So it seems to glue everything together fairly well, and it's just the right consistency. Again, not too thick, not too thin. So that's why I'm using that stuff, and it doesn't heat the foam up. So let's see. We're going to get our first part on here, and actually there is some gap in there, but that's just what you want. These are not like, actually they're very precise fit. Fits very nice. Here, I'll show you right here how that goes on. It's very nice fit and finish. So I'm going to put these on first, I think, is what I'm going to do. Or maybe I'll put the center here. Hang on a second. Let's see what we got. I may go tail first. Let's see how that's going to go on there. Yeah, maybe I'll put that one on. Maybe I'll put that on first. It's a very nice fit. It's real precise. But let me do this. While I got you guys here, I'm going to go grab an airplane stand. We did fly the Hawk last week, everybody. So we flew the heck out of this thing, me and Gavin. I got a video coming out. I just have to do the little bit of editing, and we will get this out. This is Arrows, but it flew fantastic. And I got my Ernst stand on this thing right now. So that's what I'm stealing is my Ernst stand of this thing. So let me put that down there, because I think that might fit the plane better. But let's see. The Mega might actually be better. So let's see, because the Mega stand is pretty cool for stuff like this. And let's see. Yeah, that's probably a slightly better fit. I think, you know. you can kind of figure. Here's another thing I found out, actually. Let me show you this, guys, since y'all are here. Y'all have a mega stand. If you need it to be not so mega, okay, you can actually pull this out, turn it around. It's not the best fit that way, but it does go in there. So you can kind of take a mega stand, you know, and turn it into something that's a little smaller if you need something that's a little smaller. So this will actually fit if you want to do it that way. So, but it does fit a little better the other way. But anyway, just so you know, you can kind of convert your mega stand to a smaller one if you really need to. But anyway, yeah, Ernst Manufacturing, they're kicking butt with those things. They're super nice. So, all right, let's see what we got. Let me grab my stand. I'm gonna put this here. And yeah, I use these pretty much all the time when I'm building, assembling, or doing whatever. And it's just cool. So, and of course, you can see I got glue storage here. A lot of times I have glue falling over, and I'm spilling stuff. And this stand has allowed me to keep my glues upright at least, so you can stick them in here, you can stick them in the other side, and then all your parts and stuff go right underneath. So you know, when you have parts and things, which I'll actually go to the top view here, and anytime I'm building something like this, I'll usually clear out one of these trays right here, or I'll take an Ernst tray, which are, you know, like these trays, and throw all the parts in. But since there's not too many parts on this, I put all them in here, so I have them all. In fact, I'll just put these over here. Or when I start assembly, especially if I got a ton of screws and stuff, I put them all in this Ernst stand or an Ernst tray, because it just keeps you from, you know, losing stuff in the carpet or, you know, whatever. So you got, you know, good access to all of that stuff. So let's go with the tail of this first. And the instruction manual, which I'm going to pull out here. Let's see what that does. Let's see what that tells me first. It does tell me to put the wing on first, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. Let's see. How do they tell you to do the tail? Let me see. Okay, they actually show you to put two verticals on first and then put that on. So, but you can do it in any order. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it that way. I'm going to start with those, and then we'll do the wing next, because I don't want to. It's easier if you're doing this, in my mind, if you get the tail done first, because the wing just makes the whole plane like bigger. So what we're going to do is I'll stand that up there. Let me see if I've got some. Let me see if I've got glue flowing through here. I got, yep, got glue flowing through there, so that's good. We'll get that out of it. I'm going to go to my, oh, sorry for the sound you guys might have just had. Hey, who's here from India? Let me see, who's all here? Let's see. Oh, man, that's a hard one. Jinkaya Uhami, that's a hard one. I'm screwing that up. It says, hey, hi from India. So we have someone from India. So hi over there in India from New Zealand. That's from John T. Jono Edwards. Yeah, India. Wow, we're reaching lots of cool places. So he says, beautiful flying toys. Yeah. We're trying to show everybody as best we can. I'm doing it in this time zone too, slot. So, you know, guys overseas can see this stuff too, because, you know, in the USA we get this stuff all the time. But trying to let everybody kind of see this. So. All right, guys, here we go. Let me go to the upper screen here. I'm going to go to my glasses here so I can see better. Sorry about that. I'm going to flip my hat on backwards here because I can't see what I'm doing. I usually like to glue airplanes together better when I don't have my glasses on, because I have better close vision that way. So, but I'm going to try and do this for you guys actually live on the camera here and do it in such a way where I don't totally screw this up. So, but you basically just put the CA on there and kind of go with it. So I think what I might do is, because of the way this is, let me get a couple of paper towels, because this could flow all over the place. That's kind of the problem with doing this kind of stuff. And here, let me switch cameras, guys. All right, here we are. Let me go back over here. Let me grab some paper towels here in case I have a total mess with this thing. I'm going to keep one out here, because CA runs, as you guys know, and that's why I like to use the Zappo foam safe, because it doesn't run as much as the thin stuff. What I do too, and a lot of people don't know to use. I'm grabbing a couple of tools here. Okay, I'm grabbing actually some paint brushes here. going to show you what I'm going to do. Actually, let me grab a few more because I got my pages over here. Guys, as I'm walking away, any sound issues? Sound still doing good? Sean Peterson said you have followers all over the world, Rich. Yeah, I'm trying, guys. Trying to get the word out to everybody on this stuff. So, but acid brushes here. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. You will destroy your acid brush, okay, when you do this. Okay, but it helps get the glue around better, and I'll show you this. So let me go back to that top view again. Okay, grab my glasses here. And because this whole thing, I get the wrong one, because this whole thing right here fits on there pretty nice, and they got rid of all that paint for us, which is super nice. Rather than coat this part, I'm going to put the glue in here. Now that may or may not be a mistake because when I push this in, I might get too much glue pouring out. But as long as I don't use too much, it really shouldn't be a problem. So, all right, how's the sound now? So it's when I'm moving. Sound is good now? Okay, so I'm not moving there. This is a new mic, so I may switch mics or something at a later time. So, sound good now, guys? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll put this thing on there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the CA in here with my brush. All right. When you walk around, sound goes very bitty. Okay, so we're good now. Everybody, give me a thumbs up. Sound quality's good. Sound is good. Yes or no? There's a lag here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm assuming you guys have good sound. So we're going to put this glue on here. So you can see as I put this on, I hope you guys can see the detail of that. This does dry pretty quick, okay? So, you know, I got to work kind of quick with this. So I'm going to put it down into this crevice here, okay, and just kind of put it all around there. I don't want it to be super thin, but I don't want it to be too thick where it's too runny. And I will actually take my brush, because you have a few seconds of work. I mean, this does bond pretty quick, and I think as I'm looking at this, yeah, I probably got too much already. So, and I don't want it to all ooze out and be a total disaster and a total mess, which I just got some on there, and I just got some on there. You want to wipe it quick. So what I'm going to do, since I think I put too much on, I'm just going to soak that up. Soak some of that up a little bit. There we go. And that's better. So I got like kind of a thin, kind of a blob of that stuff on there. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put this thing in there, make sure I got the right side on there. I'm going to submerge that down in there. Yeah, it gooped out on me. That can happen, folks. And if it does, just use it as a fillet. Use gravity. I'm going to get a little closer. I got a little bit out, but I'm going to let gravity take it down that slot. So, but once you have this in place, that's pretty much it, guys. It's gonna bond itself in there. And if you want to, you can leave it as is. Okay, or you can do sort of a fillet with it. And the way I'll do a fillet, especially on the underside, is I will take a little bit of, hang on a sec, got a little bit on there where I don't want it. What I'll do is I'll just run this, a little bit of glue, a little CA, right along that edge. And I'll just let it seep down in there. You don't have to do that. And since it's the underside, nobody's going to see it, but you can see it shining back at you. And it's a little fillet of glue, and it will also slot. So if you have any extra, here, let me move a little bit here. If you've got any extra, just soak it up with the edge of your towel. That's all you got to do, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to do a little of that because there's quite a bit there. And that's it. That's it for the tail fin pretty much. So there's a lot of glue there, but that's it. That's all you got. I probably put a little too much, and there is a slot in there, so I might actually put a little bit. I might actually put a little on the top side too, because I'm not really too concerned about the looks of this as much. I'm more concerned about, actually, let me brush this. If you get any bubbles, just take the brush and go like that, and it'll take the bubble out. So that's kind of a good way to do that. So yeah, people don't think about the brush too much, but sometimes with pointer, you can't really spread it around so good. So the brush just puts it everywhere. So you have a good kind of thin bond there. There's a little bit of a gap here. So since I have a gap there, and as I'm pushing this in, you could use some thin CA here too if you wanted, but you can even fillet this whole thing. So if I put a little in there, Not necessary, but probably too much there, but I'm just going to let it go on down there. It's going to seep down into that slot. Okay, it's going to go all the way down. I'm using gravity. I'm holding it this way so the glue runs down that way. And if you wanted to, you could throw some thin CA down there. So you could take a brush again and just use the CA, just kind of go like that, and it'll help get it into that. That's all you got to do. Nothing major here, guys. We're just gluing a pretty basic airplane together, so pretty simple. So now that that's done, I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to pretty much do it the same way. Do a quick test fit here. Okay, let's see. Mic is still cracking a bit on and off. Roach Coast Heli says, go, got to run, good time. All right, here's what I'm going to do, guys. Yeah, Airhammer says he notices a gap in his too, so yeah, a little bit, but, and that's where you don't want to use a super thin glue for that. So here we go. Let's do the next one. All right, the fit is good. Fit is good on there. Again, a little gap in there, but that's okay. That's why you don't want to use super thin glue on this. So, all right, let's take a look at this. Okay, now that you've used one brush, it's frozen, so you can't really use it. So you got to use a new brush when you do that, and that's okay. So let's put some CA in this slot here. Okay, and again, you're going to ruin your brush when you do this. So that's probably about all I need. So I'm going to take this, wipe it around, make sure I get it on this part. Okay, make sure I get it on the back. Make sure I get it on here. And put this where you guys can see this thing. And that should be it. That should be good. My brush is frozen now. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this on. Slide that into place. There it is. And we got it. That's it. So I'm just pushing it and holding it in place and seeing that it bonds fairly well. So it looks like I got a little. That's actually bonding there pretty. So actually is a foam safe kicker as well. But if you use kicker, the problem with that is kicker heats it up quicker. So if you heat it up, you might actually melt the foam. So you got to be careful. So with this stuff, they actually have a special, Zap has a special foam kicker. It's a completely different product. So since I'm on the underside of this, I am going to fillet this. Just a smooth, you can see that. If I get tight on that, you can see it's just sort of a glue fillet. I'll get close on it so you can see. Because it's the underside and I want it to bond. Oh, I got a little blob there. I'll use my paintbrush. I'll use a brush to grab some excess there if I have to. And just wipe it around. And then if there's even more, you know, just take your towel if you have too much and soak it up. I usually don't like to glue things like this when I'm doing it on camera because I usually take my time, and usually when I do it on camera I'm rushing more, so it's a lot easier when you're not doing this on camera to get this, you know, properly glued together. So, and as you do this too, you want to sight it this way pretty much and make sure you got it perpendicular, okay? But it's easy on the A-10 because you have this fillet here, this giant kind of gray area, and that is just support structure. So if you're against that, it's going to be 90 degrees, so it kind of automatically sort of does that for you. It's kind of a no-brainer on an A-10, you know, just for that reason. So, all right, let's see what we got. And there you go, guys. There's your stabilizer, which is right in the way of the airplane right there. So there you go. That's it. There's your horizontal. So now we're going to glue the heck out of this and get it on, which that's a big piece, okay? That's a lot of glue that we got to put on there. I tell you, this horizontal is tough. They got a spar. In fact, when I'm looking at this thing, here, let me go up top. There's this carbon spar running through this thing, so it's not just foam. It's actually really tough that they got that carbon running through there. You can see the spar jig. Those are jig slots. That's where they jig it in the foam. They put a spar in, or they put a jig mechanism in there and holds the spar in the center of the mold. So when they blow the mold or they put the beads in there and they expand, the jig that this slot was in, or that was in those slots, kind of holds it in there. So CA looks a bit messy. Yeah, it is, and I don't like using CA when I'm filming on camera. So mine's messier than it normally is when I'm kind of doing it on my own. So I like to take my time with it, whereas when I'm doing, you know, a video, I'm like rushed to do it. So it's kind of harder to do it neat because I'm talking to you guys and all that stuff. But that's okay. Again, this is, but it goes on there pretty good. Now that it's in place, you're really not going to see any of that. Like I said, I'll fill it the underside. The only problem with using foam tack for this kind of thing is that you have to let it tack up and then slide it in the slot. And if you're doing that, a lot of times you can't slide it in the slot because as soon as you put it in, it's tack. And then you end up messing the foam up and stuff. So foam tack is where mostly you have flat surfaces together. But if you have something that inserts in something, it's all tacky. This is all tacky, and then you try to stick it in. As soon as you stick that thing in, it jams. And then you can't like push it all the way in there. So a tacky well for this kind of thing, I could get away with it, but it's kind of a complex fitting. So I think I'm going to still use the Zappo for that. So, and that's it. This is done, folks. Let's see. Oh, Airhammer says, couldn't tell if it was foam or fabric. And in fact, you know what, since you mentioned that. As I'm looking down in here, and I'll zoom for everybody. Let's go down into here. As I'm looking, I'm not seeing any fabric type foam tack-like substance in here. Okay, that is a laminate they run across there. But no, I don't think there's any. I don't think any on a C-hinge, but it's solid. They have a nice solid fillet in here. Just some the paint wasn't sticking because it wasn't sticking too well. That's why it looks kind of rough in here, because that well to the laminate, which is like a laminate is like a rubbery material. So and it's got a pretty solid laminated CA hinge. If there is a like a CA type hinge or a fabric hinge, I can't see it. It's buried enough in there, but it's tough. So I think we're good on that. So all right, let's see. Let's see. Airhammer, Rich. I couldn't tell if this was. Yeah, that's right. Do you have an email address, Rich? Do I? Yeah, it's rcinformer.rich@gmail.com. So just put that in there. Sound's getting bad again. I could try a mic swap. You guys want to try a mic swap? Can't hear you. Mikey likes it. Okay. This is showing that it's connected. Let's do this. Let's attempt a live microphone swap. So let's see if we can do it here while this is drying, which it's pretty much dry anyway. Let's try and see if I can do something else. This is a newer mic that I might send back, and this is my sort of older one, but I'm starting to think that maybe the older one's better. So let's try this, folks. I'm going to switch off. You guys are going to lose me for a second when I switch this off. So stand by here. Let me kill this for a second. Okay, guys. Let me know how that sounds. We are back on with the older wireless mic. So give me a thumb. Let me set it up first here. Hold on. Let me put it where it's supposed to be. How's that sound, folks? I'm going to put it right here. John Graham says, how much for the A-10 and what size battery is it? It's a 4S, guys. So let's try that. Let me know, guys, how that sounds. And I'm going to send a text to some friends here. Let's see. How is sound now? All right, let's see what we got. 3S. It is 4S, guys, this thing. I run a 4 to 5070C in my FMS A-10. Yeah, that's good. That works well. Hammer 4-cell 2700, yep. That is good. So this doesn't fall. I'm going to put it right in there. See how well that works? All right, let's see. Volume a bit low, very quiet. Okay, very good. I can change that. Let's try this. All right, how about now? You guys have better volume now? Let's try that. I'm going to raise the volume on this. Lower sound. Okay, that's okay. Let me fix something here. Let's try. We're doing this on the fly, and it's often sound is good, but let's go mic, audio. Let's try this. I'm going to raise it up here, folks, so you guys can hear it. Let's try, I tell you what, let's go with this. Let's try 10. I'm just going to plug that in. I'm changing the decibels, okay, within there. So let me know. That might be too loud, actually, right there. Let me go down a bit. Hang on. Let's go. All right, how's that? Give me thumbs up. Still quiet, getting better. Yeah, I raised it up. Your other mic would be muffled. Your other mic would be muffled and clip out every time it was pressed against your neck. Okay, all right, that makes sense. That's cool. I think all you need to do is change the location and it would. Okay, so that makes sense. But this is a fixed one, so I don't think this will cause a problem. So let me know if that's better. This is my old mic that I usually use all the time, so if everybody's good with that, we'll go with that. So I think that's the way to go. All right, let's see. We may still try that older one. If it was rubbing up against me, then I probably just need to put it on a collared shirt. If it's on a collared shirt, then it won't be, shouldn't be a problem. So maybe that's all it was. So all right, let's see what we got. We're going to raise, let me try to raise this volume all the way up. All right, is it quiet again? Let's see. I raised it way, way up there. So we should be good. In fact, let me try, go to advanced properties again. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, hang on. I saw what just happened. Let me fix it. Let's go. Yeah, I see what just happened. All right, there we go. We should be pretty loud. Let me go audio. Microphone, real tech. All right. That should be plenty loud. Plenty loud. Yeah, something's still weird there. I can't figure out what that is. Let's try audio. Let me go one more. Let me go to one more setting. Let me close that out. And let me try one more thing. Advanced. Let's try this. Okay, interesting. I'm going to go back to, let's try an 8 on the audio. All right, how's that sound? Let me know if that's good. I got it on, I raised the decibel level. I probably just need to go to my, my collared shirt. Sound is good right there. All right, let's see. It might be because of the, you know what, it might be the shirt. Here, give me 2 seconds, guys. Hang on a second. Let me do something real quick. Hang on a second. I'm going to do a shirt swap because I have a spare here. Hold on, guys. I think that might get away from the problem. Hang on. I'm going to walk off camera. The reason I'm doing this is because, let's go. Let's try it now. Let's see what we got here. All right, guys. I'm switching. You never know what you're going to see on RCINFORMER. So, but this is how we try new stuff, see what works and what does not work. So let's see if we can get this. All right, guys. I figured I changed my shirt off camera because people go, "Hey, Rich is taking his clothes off during the live show and stuff." So, all right, how's that? Let's try that. See, now I got it on the collared shirt instead of just a regular, so it really shouldn't move around much. So let me try it here. And now it's not hitting me. It's kind of just sticking out right here. So how's that? Is that good? Is the sound? Talk to me, Goose. Let me know. I just put the old shirt back on. So let me know how it's going there. see what we got down there. And if that looks good, we're going to continue building this thing. So let me get this thing, or the assembly, I should say. Let me know if that's good. Just say new shirt. Okay, Eric. Eric Johnson. He says, Rich is a perfectionist, nothing wrong with that. I just want you guys to hear it. I just want you guys to be able to hear it. So I think probably maybe lesson learned, if the new shirt, if the old shirt is good, I'll just use a collared shirt, because I never really used the regular just, you know, just t-shirt type thing, and I guess it hits the neck, so maybe that's the problem. I'll try the old mic next time, I guess, instead of switching back. But if this is better, I'll stick with a collared shirt for this. I think that's what it was. That comment that you gave me there was awesome, whoever gave me that there, because I think it's just hitting my neck is what the deal is. So, all right, I think we're going to go with it, folks. We're going to get this tail on here, see if I can get this in place, and that's really all there is to this thing. All right, all good. New chute. There we go. All right, problem solved. Thanks, guys, for the gouge on that. That was helpful. That's what gets me going on that. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I don't want to make this a darn mess, so I'm going to try to figure out what might be the best way to get this on here. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Instead of gluing it like this with these stupid things, these push rods here, what I'm going to do is, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into here. This is just off the cuff stuff here, folks. Is I'm going to get my, let me run back here real quick. I keep my tools in here, in my radio case here, which you guys can see. So I made a couple extra slots, so this is maybe an idea if you guys have this radio case. So I'll show you here. If you guys happen to have this radio case, let me zoom out, or you guys want to get one of these, you can do all kinds of stuff with this Spektrum case. And what I do is I put all my tools in here. I put holes in there, just kind of, actually you can just stick your tool in there. You don't have to do much with anything. But this lets you put your stuff right in here. And in fact, since I've got this, I'm going to take out my, actually I don't have my DX6 there, but let me grab these out of here, because I'm going to use a DX6 for this, I think. And there's my checker. So, but yeah, I keep all my tools there, and it lets me kind of, when I'm at the field, I got all my stuff in one place mostly. Not all of them, but the tools I use the most, I kind of keep in there. So, all right, so let's get to it. So here's what I was getting at here, folks, is before we go trying to put our elevator on this mess here, I'm going to actually just take my, did I just take the wrong size? Yeah, I just took the wrong darn size. All right, let me grab that case again. I had my tools in the wrong place. All right, here we go. The cool thing about this is it shows you guys sometimes the kind of difficulties you can have with this stuff when you're doing this, and that it takes longer sometimes than, you know, 15-minute assembly time, because you got to find tools, you got to find this, you got to find that. So this is kind of, it's just par for the course here. So, all right, so what I'm going to do, zoom out a little bit, is I'm going to use my socket here, 1.5 millimeter. I'm going to loosen this, okay, and I'm just going to push these rods out of the way so I'm not fighting these rods while I'm trying to put this thing together, because I just don't want to have battle with those things. It's just sort of a pain when those are in the way. So I can tighten that just a hair, not much, just tight. That way now we can glue this without interference, okay, from those things. It's just a little easier to get to. This actually has a lot of gap here, actually. See that? I might actually foam tack this. In fact, because of that space there, see all that? There's some movement in there. We need some kind of gap filling. Maybe I will foam tack this whole thing. Yeah, that might really be a good candidate for that, but will I be able to get it down tight enough? Yeah, it's hard to say, but you know what? I think I might foam tack this, because it needs, there's too much space there. When you have a tight fitting deal, it's kind of a pain to put stuff on like that. So yeah, let's try that. Okay, everybody says sound is great. Shirt was a bit loud, yeah. Cern's manufacturing, so we're getting on with it. So love that tail section. So yeah, this is, I think I'm going to foam tack this thing. I don't see a reason why not to do that. So let me do this. I wasn't really planning on that, but sometimes you got to use the right glue for what you're doing. So I just so happen to have a new bottle of foam tack right here. So Let me see if did I open this? No, I did not open this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a new bottle. And when you use a new bottle of this stuff, a lot of times, no, I already did that. The best thing about using a new bottle is the glue is a little more liquidy. Once you open it, it actually starts to tack even though you close it back up. So, but let's do this. I'm going to put my foam tack on there, right here. It's falling off. Delicate balance there. All right, so let's see what we got. And you can still use brushes for foam tack. That's the nice thing. So let's do this. This should be a little less messy because, yeah, there's a lot of gap here. I didn't think there was going to be that much, but there actually is quite a bit. Yeah, I probably could stick that together, but I don't really want to do that. So, all right, let's go with foam tack on this part, because foam tack is the stuff to use for this, I think, for this application. And foam tack's a little easier to work with, okay? You don't have, it doesn't dry in seconds like CA does. So let's see, do I have this coming out of here? Yes, I do. So, all right, so I'm going to put this along here, all the way in here. I don't think there's any, yeah, we're just going to put it all in here. And I'm only doing this, like I said, because of the gaps. Okay, I'm going to put some along here. Let's do this. You're going to destroy this brush too, so don't plan to ever use it again because it will be gone. So, all right, so take this, brush it around. And if you have a new bottle of foam tack, okay, like I'm using here, sorry about that, guys. If you have a new bottle of foam tack, it's actually pretty liquidy, so you can move it around better when it's new. So, and sometimes you find out after you glue stuff like this that, should I have used that or not? Should I have used CA or not? So, but I'm gonna go with this because of the gap in this whole deal. So, let me get some of this off the edges because I don't want that to really squeeze through to the inside. And then now that I have that in place there, you get a little bit more in there. A lot of times you put the foam tack on both surfaces as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick this in place. I'm going to push it down. I'm going to pull it out. Push it down, pull it out, pull it down, push it out. And then I'm going to peel it away. And you can see all those kind of threads sort of forming there. You see all that. You can see the threading and all that. So, and then that tells me where it is on this side. So, actually, shoot, that just got all over this thing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little more on here. Since I have it on here already, I'm going to work quickly here. I don't want to get that on there, no. Okay, we'll get that in place. And then, oh, sorry about that, guys. I just didn't realize y'all couldn't see that. But here, let's do this. I'm going to brush it all over. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully this will be the right glue that I chose to do with this. All right, we'll get that out of the way. So now I got it on both sides. And I don't think it's tacked up enough yet, I don't think. So I'm going to stick that tongue and groove right there again. I'm going to put it down there, a little bit oozing out, not a problem. Alcohol gets that off. I'm going to lift it up, and it's not wanting to come up, but I'm going to lift it up again. And then as you bring it this way and you look at it from the side, here, as you pull this away, you can see, and I'm going to try and get in there, you can see all those threads down in there forming, okay? So what I'm going to do to make this not so crazy, it is tacking up real quick, okay? You can feel it wanting to tack. But this is going to fill the gaps better, I think, than the CA. So you can see all of those threads kind of forming there. And that's really what you want. Now those can get all over your model, so you want to be real careful kind of as you're putting that on. And I'm going to push my finger around there to get those off. I'm going to take my finger here and sweep it. I should have some alcohol here too, because that kind of gets the foam tack off everything. But I'm just going to push everything back into that slot because I don't want it all to ooze out. And I'm looking at this side as well and how that looks. But it overlaps here, so that's where it's going to go. So anyway, I'm going to give it some time to tack up, just a minute or two. And I'm blowing on it because I do want it to tack up. And then I'm going to stick it on here one final time. I don't think I need to do much more than this. If you wait too long to let it tack up, then you can't get it on. So, but I think foam tack actually, so now that I'm looking at this, is probably the thing to use back here if you've got it, because there is some gap here. And it's usually a little neater. Now I can't see the top side and how that turned out until I get it upright. But yeah, it looks like it went on there well. And I could run some alcohol along here if I wanted to, but it's not really sticking out or anything horrible. So, but anyway, I'm just going to press it on. and make sure it's in place. Okay, and it looks like it's a good deal. Now also, when foam tack dries, contact cement dries, it does expand a little bit. Okay, so anyway, glad you went off camera. I'm reading the messages. Glad you went off camera. Didn't want to see those foods. I'm not sure what that means. Looks like my suggestion about Mikey worked. No problems now. Yeah, very good. Oh, that was defrost. Yeah, thanks for the mic issue. Yeah, and that's what it is anytime I do something, anything's funny, let me know specifically what it is, because definitely I appreciate that. That's what the sound, because I can't hear what you guys hear. And definitely it just seemed to be my neck deal going on. So, but let's look at this from the other side here. Okay, it's hard to get in there actually, but yeah, you can see there's our joint on that side. Not totally perfect or anything, but, and I'll probably run some alcohol along here later, because a little bit of the glue got in there, but that's okay. You'll see that edge a little bit. That's one downside about foam tack, is it can be kind of messy a little bit. CA runs, this stuff tacks and kind of moves around, so, but the thing is I can also use probably right here if I take a brush, and in fact I don't have a clean brush, so let me switch my screen. And let me know, guys, my audio as I'm walking around. Let me know here if my audio is causing a problem, okay? Because I'm moving now with the old mic, so if you guys have an issue with that, you know, let me know. So coming back here, I got tools and stuff all over the place here. All right, let me go back to my other view here. If I have some balled up foam tack somewhere like this, often I'll get a brush because I can't get in there, and sometimes that will get it out of there. Not always, but sometimes it'll get some of it out there, and you can use a little alcohol in there. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best here. Let me put this down on top of here. Is if I try to pry this off, is it coming off? And no, it's not. I mean, the tail is tacked on now. I would have to probably break the tail now to take this off. So that's the beauty, guys, about foam tack, is that you know, you put it on there, let it tack up a bit, use your brush, spread it around, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, do it a few times, and then give it like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, a minute and a half or something, just let it tack, and then just get it on there quick. And then once you push it down, and that is why it's called contact cement, because it's that final contact, okay, after it's tacked up, that final contact, it doesn't want to come off. And then you just let it sit there and dry. But it's workable. Now that we've got this here, I can work with it because it's on there to stay pretty much. So what I'll do here at this point is I'm going to pull these out. Check it out. See, and that was the idea of doing that. So now I can, let me loosen it first. That's the problem. Now I can pull these rods back, okay, and to where I wanted them to be. And I'll use my bowling tool here, or actually just my fingers. Nope, that's not going to work. I need my bowling tool. Let me go back to the other mode here. I always use my bowling tool. So that's another tool I leave in here. So let me get that out of there. There it is. If you guys don't have one of these, you will want to get one of these. Okay, let me go back here. Special bowling pliers, right? So rather than using pliers, regular pliers, and messing up your ball links, getting one of these. So I'm going to put that right there, close up my box. Let's get that back in there. Okay. And these are used for putting your ball links on and off. So see if I can show that from this angle. Sometimes it's hard to see. This way is for putting them on, okay? And then this way is for getting them off. It just goes right on there and you can pop it out. So you just push on the screw and that's it. So that's the best way to get your ball links on and off without damaging them. So, and there we go. So I'll pull that one out, slide this over here, slide this one out as well. Let's see if I can lock that in place. Let's see here. And there it is. So I'm going to neutralize, and we don't know until we plug in this thing. I'm going to neutralize this thing. Basically, what I want to do is get this roughly at what a 90-degree angle is. Okay, and that way there's sort of equal movement in here. And then neutralize your elevators sort of as best as you can. And then I'm going to tighten this on the top. I'm going to tighten this up. So now they should be locked in, but I can change that later. That's just a sort of a rough sort of setup of it. And that's it, folks. That's the that is the elevator assembly. It's all on there nice. Okay, that's it. So we got the whole tail sections on there. It's looking good. All right. That's some nice tail there. Check that out. Look at that. It's that easy to do, and again, sometimes you don't know until you actually, mess with it, and you actually see somebody kind of glue it together. It's pretty simple though. Let me lower that a little bit. Get this in the frame there. And that's it. Everything looks nice and straight. We've got 2 good verticals there, got a horizontal, and it's ready to be handled, so we can get the wing on now. So let's see, John Mueller's here. Let's see, who else we got here? How many people we got in the house here? We got 50 guys. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for coming. This is awesome. All right, let's get the wing on. Yeah, this tail is nice. It's on there real good. But yeah, I mean, you can use CA if you want. You're fine. But I think foam tack's the way to get that on. And then putting these on, your foam safe CA, I think is probably the way to go. And then the wing, pretty simple. We'll just pop that on. And since I'm actually I'll leave that right there. Since I am going to get these things, and I'm going to, actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the plane right up here on that Hawker Hunter box. And I'm going to put that wing right on here because I'm going to show you something with this. Let me go to my top view here, just like I always do. Since I'm going to put this together probably right now and not really take it apart, I'm going to do, my glue was sticking to there. Here, let me go this way with it. Let me see if I can get this here. What I'm going to do is my standard old, let's tighten our connectors deal. So I need a hobby knife to do that with though. So let me get a hobby knife here, get some glasses, and I'm just going to tighten these things up real quick. Hopefully you guys can see that as I'm doing this. I'm going to very carefully, without messing my finger up there, just going to carefully push those pins down just a little bit. Because this plane's so small, I'm not really going to take it apart much for transport. I'm just going to push these tabs down a bit. So hopefully I've got a slightly better connection. The reason I'm having trouble with this at the moment, and I got that done, is because I operate better with my glasses. I mean with my with no contacts. I have contacts in right now. So I can see better when I am not wearing contacts or glasses. I can see up close much better. So I'm doing this with reading glasses, and I can do it, but it's just better kind of without it. So now that that's done, we'll switch back to our regularly scheduled programming here. And let's get, I think I got that set right. Now we're going to get the wing on. So all we're going to do, we're going to flip this around and try to find those connections, which they're right there. So, and I'll show you all that. That's the, let me go to the top view one more time. They got these really nice connectors. Most of these model companies are starting to put on. So, and these babies all lock in. So here's one. Okay, here's the other, which I can't, scalpel. And then we're going to pull this out of here. I think it's down there. Yeah, there it is. It kind of got buried under there. Let's see. So there we go. These 2 really nice locking connectors. Okay. And let me back up a little bit with my zoom there, just a hair. There we go. So by putting our wing here, sorry I'm in the way, by taking our wing, I'm going to make those 2 connections here. I'm trying to do this on the camera for everybody. Let's get those going there. See, put that on. Sorry, blocking, obscuring the view. See if I can get those on there. All right, let's see what we got. That can be kind of tough, but get that in place there. It's sliding off the side, which happens sometimes, but just so you all can get the gist of that, which I just screwed that up. let me get a better vantage point here. Hang on. Let me move it this way a little bit. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this a little bit better this way. Get this angled right. And we'll put this one on. So I'm going to line this up. And like I said, they slide off the side sometimes. That's the only downside of these things. But they are really awesome. So as I push this in, y'all can see kind of how nice of a connector these babies are. These just slide right in place, which I just pulled it apart again. This is all tough part about showing people how to do this actually live. It's kind of a pain in the butt to do that kind of thing sometimes, but here we go. So nice connectors. So they're locking tabs that lock this whole thing into place. Here you can see it. Now you can see it better. And we're going to snap this on. So as I bring this together from the back side, okay, here, I'm going to squeeze this together and it's going to snap into place. You pop that in. I got to push this one pretty hard, but there we go. So it's locked in. Your locking tabs hold it in place here, and you're there. So we'll do the other one, which should be pretty straightforward. Let's get this one on. Looks like I found a good angle to show you this. Get this one in place. It doesn't slide off. And there we go. We're going to push this in place again. There we go. Push it, really push that one in. That's because I tighten the connections and it's harder to get these on. So as I push that in, it's harder to push in, but your locking tabs here have engaged and we're good to go. So we're just going to flip this around. I'm going to swap cameras here with my foot. See, look at that. I didn't use my foot for that. We're going to push this down in there and we're going to get the wing in place. But I think what I need to do is pull my wires from here. So let me get to the underside of this, pull the canopy off, and I think I got to pull that through a little bit. Yeah, those wires are kind of not really settling, but yeah, there they are. Now I'm sighting it through here, and if you guys look carefully, you can see all that stuff. So down in there. Check that out. Look at that. All right, so as you look through down into there, just make sure you're not pinching your wires in there. You can see those down in there. Just make sure they go in place. I'm using my finger and sighting it from this side. And that's it. Wing fits on flush. There we go. And it's in place, and that's all we got. So once we got that on there, it's time to screw the wings in place. There's only 4 screws, folks. These are 3mm metrics, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get those on. They're beveled head screws. So let me go down into my tray here. We got our screws. Put those in there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where is that thing? There's 1. There's 2, 3. And where's the other one down in there? Oh, no, I'm missing one. All right, here it is. And there's your close-up. Look at that. These are all beveled head screws. Okay, real nice. 2mm metric on the top, 3mm screw. So real nice. Make sure I put that in the right place. And then grab my handy dandy 2mm metric right there, and we'll get those on. And that should be all we need to do. There we go. 1, 2. Oh, those tap in nice, actually. Yeah, those are gripping well. Oh, that's squeaking a little too. Little squeak is not bad. That means it's biting something. There we go. I can feel it bite there. And that's what you got to do when you put these on. You got to feel the bite in the screw, and you got to feel when it starts getting tight. Okay, when it starts getting tight, you can over compress these. So just do it so it feels like it's snug, or it's at least getting tight. There we go. That's tightening it up nicely. Yeah, this is a very nice fit and finish so far. Check out all the seams. Everything fits well together real nice on this. So let's see what we got. Yeah, baby, I like that. All right, let's see. Tighten that up. Let's tighten this up. There we go. Yeah, those are on there good. Yeah, I like that. Trying to get the bite equal. And again, you got to do this by feel without over tightening. So that's really it, folks. Let's open up the Singularity once more time. And that's it, folks, for most of the construction of this thing. So yeah, pretty slick. Pretty slick. There it is, guys. All ready to go. All bridled, saddled, except for the landing gear. We'll get the landing gear on there, which we'll do next. But that's it, folks. That's 4 screws, 3 glues, and you know, she's good to go. Nice little model, man. This is impressive. It's a nice little airplane. Okay, let's get the gear on. We'll do the simplest first, which is the main gear. Okay, and all you have with the main gear, let me just double check my tail. Yeah, my tail glue is nice. It's in there in place nicely. Main gear is pretty simple. This is what you got. on the top view. That's all you have. It's just pretty simple stuff. I'm not sure which one goes. I think pretty much usually you have your loop usually goes backwards, not forwards. And since I can choose, I'm going to actually put it on the outside, and that's it. It's a pressure fit that snaps in. Okay, I hadn't done that, but here's how it goes on. I'll put this one in place too. Looks like there's a little lip right there, so when you push this down into place, let's see if I get that. Yeah, it gets past that lip the first time, and what I'll do is I'll see if I can get you all a slightly better angle on this. So there's a lip right on that edge there. So, and it's on the front side. So when you pop it in, it goes past that lip one time, and then when you press it on again, it snaps. So there you go. That's your main wheels on there, and that's as simple as that darn thing is. So real nice. All right, so let's go to the inner, or to the nose gear. And what I'll show you is from this side how simple this is. All you really have here, let me flip it around this way. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, nothing too hard on this. But really all you're going to do is just take your nose strut, which is kind of nice because they glued this on because there's a little notch, or they tightened it. I don't know if there's a little notch. You got to make sure you get this right, or it may not fit because it's kind of a precise fit. You need to make sure that notch right there, all these X-Fly planes are like that, fits into the loop right there. So once you got that like that, all you have to do is just insert this thing, probably with the loop backwards again, okay? Then we'll flip it over. So once you flip it over, without the wheel falling out, if you have to, just insert it through the bottom. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then you can reach over, grab your, let me see if I can find it here, grab your steering arm, which looks like that. And this pin has to engage right here. Just has to engage this little slot right here. So you can see how that goes in. So you got to make sure the flat spot's in the right place, which right now it's not. And there's only one flat area. So, and that's just this. It's pretty simple. You need to make sure that your screw or your wrench here, let me get this in place. You just got to make sure it's a 1.5 millimeter metric. So you just have to make sure it engages that flat area right there. You can see the flat area right there. And once it engages there, okay, it locks in. I took the strut out so you can see in its entirety what that looks like. And you can see loop goes back. Okay, your rotation pin there, your steering pin, goes forward, and that's what it's going to look like inside the airplane. So you have to use a little Allen wrench, which is nice because actually they supply it for you. Part of that is the kit is they give you this little Allen wrench, which I've got 1,000 of these laying around, these 1.5 millimeter metric. So again, just to kind of do it from the top side, it's pretty simple stuff, guys. I'm just over explaining it for the guys that want to see that. So you put your wheel up through the bottom, okay, it sticks out, okay, and you got to make sure that little spacer's there in the correct place. If the spacer's not, it doesn't fit that well. And then you put that little piece on there, that little steering arm, and you're good to go. And then the flat spot will line up. So, but because of the way this is, I have to use a wrench like this. So, because I can't, unless I want to put a hole through my fuselage sticking this in, you have to use a little Allen wrench to get in there. So, not a big deal. But you've got to put it in, turn it, take it out, put it back in, turn it more. So it takes a little time to get this on here. It's not, there's no quick victory here. So, and once you got this on, you're really not going to take it off again. So, I mean, unless you're a belly launch, or hand launch belly land type person, you're not going to really take this off very much. So I think this plane will I think this will belly land okay, this airplane, but you might lose your, like I said, your pave penny pod sticking off the bottom of this thing. So let me get this, there we go. All right, let me get this lined up. And I can feel it biting now. Now I've had a few turns on it. Actually, let me loosen it up a little bit because I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. I had it a little bit loose, so let me tighten this up again. Now that I've got it compressed properly. Yeah, a little bit of a pain to get in here. Give you guys a better vantage point there. And that's about it. Awesome. All right, so that's nice and tight. Doesn't have to be super tight. No retina detaching stuff. And then that's it. There's your steering servo, how that works. And your nose wheel will steer with that. So that is it, guys. That is the total and utter assembly of the X-Fly 50mm A-10. And that's it. We're good to go. We're going to wire it up now and go. Any questions from anybody? Anybody want to throw anything out there? I'm looking at the thing now. Joe, no. How many people we got here still? Sometimes I get immersed in this. 46 guys, that's awesome. Appreciate 52 concurrent viewers at the most, but I appreciate you guys coming. This is beautiful. Let's put this on here and see how this, really nice little model. You know what? And if you find, I tell you what, if you find small enough retracts, you probably could put them in this, because there are some little miniature retracts out there. So it's going to sit on the tail because there's no battery in the front. So, but really nice. Looks like I got some glue there. If you guys get contact cement, just wipe it like that, and it'll come, it should come right off. And mine's just getting dirty from my hand. I think I got some contact cement. But if I do this with it, it'll rub right off. Yeah, got that baby off of there. Very good. And that's it. This thing is on there and ready to go. So that's what we got. So I think I'm going to do here, let's see. Rich, is there a hole in the fuselage already? Oh, there might be. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Obviously, he saw that already. Okay, well, thanks for the tip. I didn't know that was in there. There is a fuselage hole. So check that out. I had it from the wrong angle, actually. There's one on the other side. He's right. So here's what you can do. From here, let me go from here. Let me go back. Yeah, hey, thanks for the tip there. And that's another thing, guys, why when I do this on camera, sometimes you miss this stuff, because I hadn't really seen this come out of the box. So obviously, he's got the plane already. So there is a little hole right here in the fuselage that they put in here. All right, so if you have a long Allen wrench, but they give you one, so you can reach in there. So yeah, thanks for the heads up. I didn't know that was there. I probably would have figured that out at some point and gone, oh man, I didn't tell everybody there was a hole there. So they already put a hole in the side of the fuselage right there, so you can put that in there. So yeah, hey, thanks for the heads up on that. You do live shows, man. Sometimes you just can't, you can't focus on stuff as well as you'd maybe like to, because you're showing it to everybody, and you can miss a couple of things. So, but that's it, guys. That's thanks for the tip there. There is a hole there, so that's good. What would be the flight time using 2200? I don't know, probably 5 minutes or something. But Airhammer, thanks for the heads up there. Definitely little hole right there for your Allen screw. So actually that makes it so much easier and not having to use this, but they do give you this. You can still use this from the side, but if you got your own, it's way better. So anyway, all right, let's see if we can get this set up. I'm going to stick a receiver of sorts in here, and let's see what we have. I have a couple of candidates here. I have a, let's see what I got here. You can use all kinds of stuff, but you only need a few channels for this, so I'm not going to, what I'm going to do is, since I have them laying around, I'm going to use one of these. These are some of the nicer, less expensive receivers from Hobby King. I use these in a lot of stuff, even my big stuff. It comes with a bind plug, so there you go. And this is just a standard old 7-channel RX20. No stabilization. Oops, sorry about that. No stabilization or anything. Just plug in and go. So let's do this. I'll go back and do all these connections kind of later, but for now, let's do this. We're just going to connect all this stuff. So let's get to the nose of this thing here. I'm going to turn it around this way, actually. And I'll prep it for flight here, get this thing ready to go. So let's put the elevator in the elevator slot, which is, let's see, we got the negative going down and the signal. Yeah, okay, so let's go. Elevator's the third one. All right, we're going to plug in, zoom a little bit here. No, wrong way. There we go. And this one is the aileron channel. So I'm only going to use a couple of channels here. There we go, plug that in. And that one must be the throttle, I'm guessing. And because it's got a BEC, so let me get the throttle line in there. Pretty straightforward. And honestly, guys, if you were plugging these in and they're going in there tight, you don't need to tighten all of them. But in fact, they feel pretty tight, so I think we're probably good to go. and then the rudder channel, and that's it. So I'm only using 4 channels. That's all you got on this deal, and that's pretty straightforward. So, and then I'll probably tuck this in. I'll figure it out here later, but this is going to kind of go probably right in here, and I'll run antennas in some fashion. I'll figure the mounting of it later, and I'll talk about that during the flight. So, but let's go ahead and bind it up. Let me switch sides there, switch channels. Let me go to my 6-channel radio here, see if I can have it. Oh no, take that back. It's right over here. So, going to use the DS66 on this just so I can spread out my planes on radios and stuff. And let's see, let's go into my menu system. And let's go into here. We're going to power this up. I'm going to hold down my button, power this up, let it go full on, release, and then it'll say model select. So I'm going to go into that, select a new model. Let's go with that. Actually, you know what? I've got, let me go back, hang on. No, let me cancel that. No, I don't need that. Let me cancel. Actually, you know what? I've got my T7A, I forgot. I've got my T7A on this. So, you know, since I got it on here, I'm going to use my NX10 for this. Let's do that instead. Let me power this down. That way I got it on a different radio and I don't have to, let me take that off of there. Let's go back. I'm going to swap radios. Just so I can have 2 of them together, so if I'm flying with somebody like Gavin, we can both kind of fly them together. That's kind of why I try to set them up that way as best I can. So I'm going to put that on my NX10 instead. Okay, let's do that. These are the decisions that you make when you're in the middle of doing stuff. So, all right, here we go again. Extend the antenna, hold the button down, power up. Let's go. Yep, guys, of course I hadn't prepped any of this because I just wanted to show you guys this thing real time. So we'll go to model select, and let me add a new model. Model number 90. Holy smokes. So let's go create a plane. Let's let that bind through or let it switch through its thing. There we go. Is it going to make a new model for me? There we go. So let me name it. We'll go to name. I'm going to leave it as model 90. And I'll say, oh, there's already an A there. A-10. Let's go there. A-10. All right, let's see. 10. Let's go 50 millimeter. I'll change this later. 50. Let's go millimeter. There we go. Let that come out of there. I don't need any of those modes set up. Throttle's high. Let's bring that down. Okay, so we are good to go with that. That's all set up and in there. And now I need a battery. So since we've got, what do we got here? We got an EC3. So let me go with a simple. Actually, you know what I have here? I'm going to put this 3200 pack because that's got the right connector on it for right now, just for the short term. Okay, and then we'll get this going. So let me get the bind plug that I threw in my tray there. Of course, my Ernst tray, always putting that in there. Let's get it in the bind slot. Bloop, plug that in there. Turn my radio off. We're going to do that. Let it shut down. Okay, and you can see my binding light and all that kind of stuff. I'll try to zoom in so everybody can sort of see how that's going to go down there. So I've got this all set up so everybody can see, hopefully. All right, and we'll plug this in. So with the bind plug, let's get all this stuff in there. Okay, flashing light, hold the bind button, power the radio up with that model memory. And all right, there's our steady light. Binding's complete, and ailerons and everything should work okay. So there we go. I'm going to unplug my bind plug. I'm going to unplug. All right. Oh, let me unplug that thing. All right, there we go. I'm going to power my radio down. And I'm just going to do a full kind of reboot of the whole thing and make sure it's all bound up properly. So I'll power that back up. There we go. It's powered up. I'm going to plug this in. All right, make sure we're bound up, which it looks like we are. See if we got some throttle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is do a calibration. Let me pull this out. Throttle's to high. Plug this in because it doesn't seem like the throttle's smooth. It was starting kind of shallow. Or no, there we go, and I'll pull the throttle to idle. Set my calibration range of the throttle. All right, it's all calibrated. So now I'm noticing my throttles come on sooner. See, they weren't coming up until it kind of went up a little ways. Then I heard abruptly the engines came on. So once you set that range, it should come on at a very low throttle setting. And there we go. So now everything's working okay. Now we're going to set a throttle kill. Okay, it's usually better to do this when the whole thing's off so you don't launch the plane off the thing. But I've done this enough times that hopefully, let's watch this. So we're going to activate the switch. We're going to activate it. I'm going to press, you basically just go to throttle cut, press it, and then flip the switch that you want it to be, and it will automatically assign it. So that's switch G. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to number 2 position for myself, make that white, make the other 2 switch positions black. So now what happens is when I have this switch to my position that I want it to be hot, I got power. In the other 2 positions, it does nothing. So, and you can see when I go back to hot, it turns it on. So you got to be careful with that. Make sure you don't launch the plane off the table. But now I got a safety, so it won't go anywhere. So then we'll set the range on everything. So let's see if I got right aileron, right, left, up, down. So up and down is backwards. So I'm going to go into my radio setting here, and I'm going to go into servo setup. See if I can show you all that with a servo setup. I'm going to go into reverse, travel, subtrim, reverse. I'm going to reverse my elevator. So now, when we look there, if I pull back on the elevator, it's going up. I push forward, it's going down. I move it right, we're right, left and left. So the ailerons look like they're good, right and left, up and down, and throttle's good. So, man, this sounds good. Here, let me fire this up. You guys ready? Let's power this baby up. It sounds good. That's the thrust hitting my camera up there. So let's move it that way. So, but yeah, that sounds really good. That's a nice sounding jet. That's pretty cool. So, and that's what we got. So I'm gonna make a battery floor for this to put this in. This battery probably is a little too big, this 3200. And in fact, I'm thinking my battery of choice is probably going to be this, okay? And in fact, I'll show you this way. This is an ADC 2600 pack. That's probably going to be like my primary battery, and these 2280s as well, because they're both pretty thin batteries, and I think they'll fit pretty good in the floor on this thing. So let me turn the throttle off. Let me unplug this thing, which actually it's already unplugged, and let's see what we got. This is our battery floor down in here. It's tight in here, folks. I'll admit it's not. That's one of the downsides to smaller models is you really can't. It can be kind of a pain to kind of, you know, get into a little model like this, especially without dinging the sides of this thing. So here's what I'm going to do. This looks like this is going to fit in there. Yeah, this ADC will fit in there nice. This 2600. So I'm kind of curious if I plug that in. Here, let's try this. This is my floor right here. Let me pull this out. I'm going to. I don't really know how I'm going to do this yet, but I'm going to try it. Let me see if I strap this down here. See if I can get this. This is where you end up dinging the sides of your fuselage because you got to have your hands in there to do this stuff, and sometimes that doesn't work out that great. So let me pull this here. Trying to get this strapped in here. I just want to do a rough check of this and see like where my CG is and stuff. So I'm just going to put this up front. Sometimes it takes time to figure out where you're going to put all this. And I'll talk about most of this in the flying video because like sometimes I don't totally have it figured out till I play with it a little bit. But for now, all right, I'm going to do a CG check with this heavy battery. So what I need is I need a ruler, which Do I have one here? No, I don't. Grab one out of my box. Oh, actually, here's one right here. I usually have them seated everywhere so I can know where this stuff is at. So as we're looking from the top, we want to kind of know where the CG is at. Okay, right here. And the book says, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, but as you know, the manual says 45, okay? So 45 aft the leading edge. So 45 aft the leading edge is going to be, without me blocking the camera too much, is going to be somewhere right around, here, let me put something on the front of this to make sure I got the leading edge of this right. Okay, I'm just using something, here's what I'm doing. I'm just using something to line this up. Okay, so I know where that leading edge is pretty precisely, or mostly anyway. So it looks like 45 is right here. So 45 is right about, for me anyway, the back edge of this red circle here, of the middle circle. So as long as I'm balancing somewhere right around here, so I'll probably use these as balance points, just to kind of be a rough estimate. So right around the back edge of the circle, or maybe even where the gray area is. So kind of like right here. So what I'll do is just, now that I got the battery in there, is I'll just take this. I'm going to flip this upside down. The battery's strapped in. The receiver is about where it's going to be. And I'm going to look at this and say, is it balanced there? And I'm saying, no, it balances much farther ahead of that. But it should still fly there. And in fact, as I look at this thing, especially from the top view, if I look at that point and look at the whole chord line of the airplane, that's from the trailing edge to the front, and it's balancing right about there, that looks like that's about 25%, 20 maybe even. That's probably a good CG. If it was back around here, you'd be really unstable. So I'm looking at this thinking 45. It's probably about right for good stability. So clearly what has to happen is this battery's got to come back. So I'm just going to push this back a bit further under that strap and see kind of where does it balance now. So with that back there, and that battery, shoot, after I fly it here, I might find that that really is too heavy of a battery, or maybe that CG is good or not. So, okay, that's a little better. That balances just ahead of that, maybe about 40 or so. So that's really not too bad. Actually, that's almost right on, slightly ahead. And then now what I'm going to do is just try another battery, a lighter one, and see what that does for me. So again, I'll go back to here. This is all CG checking and testing and seeing where stuff goes and where you like it, where you don't like it. I could also use a less C rating on the pack. I don't need to use 80s. I just have 80s laying around, and 80s you can just beat up all day long, and you're generally not going to puff them. So let me try just a small battery, and I don't think I need another strap in this airplane. I'm not going to be going too crazy with it, but let's see if I can get this underneath, right here. I'm going to go full back, as far back as I can think I can safely strap this thing in place under that strap. And you can always add another strap in here. If I need a farther aft strap, I can get my battery back farther. So, and it looks like there is space under there. So, okay, so that's with a 2200 pack. And let's see if I can get this canopy to stay on here. Yep, that's pretty close. I think I got that. So again, lighter battery, far back as I could get it. Let me see how the balance point is. And yeah, that's actually about the same. It actually is very close. Maybe a hair farther back, but both those batteries should work okay, and I should be able to push them farther back even. So, but that is it, folks. This thing's up and ready to go. The only thing I need to do is just put a battery floor in this thing. So let me see real quick and go a little wider on the pan there. Let me see if I can put my shelf liner down there. Let me see if I can find a little piece here. All right, here's a little piece of my shelf liner. So I'll probably cut a piece to stick down in there, and I'll kind of tape that in place. So, or yeah, tape it down in there. And that's it. I'll probably do that a little later on though. So let me see, I can probably do it now. Let me see what's going down there. All right, and back in the room. Let's see, how many guys are watching? Let's see. All right, we got 53 guys. Very good. Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate that. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna put this wire here though. I'm gonna get this against the wall and because I want this to fly tomorrow, this airplane. So I'm going to get this thing in there so it's kind of just out of the darn way. I mean, I don't like the way it's kind of sticking in here, so I'm trying to think of which side I could put that on. It doesn't really even matter, I don't think. Let me see if I can get this down in there. You know, I got more time here, so I think what I'm going to do, guys, is we're just going to do this here because I've got the time to do this and show you to you guys. So let's see how I'm going to actually do this. Let me turn my radio off because I don't need that on right now. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a notch for this thing to fit in here. I like this wire bundle. This wrapping stuff is pretty cool, but it still sticks out. So I'm going to put in here a notch in this area here, so this will fit. And in fact, let me see if I can turn the airplane around. I might be able to show you guys better what I'm going to do with it, I think. So hopefully my head's not in the way. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm making this up as I go along. So I'm going to do a notch down in here to get this thing, because we don't really need that much structure there. That's a little bit kind of, and you need to be able to get a battery in there. So let me see what's the best way to do that. Let's try, let me take a hobby knife. This should be fairly easy to do. And what I'm going to do is, if you all can see that, this is just me kind of ad-libbing, you know, I'm just kind of just making this up as I go along. So I'm going to put a little notch right here. I'm going to cut here too. This is not real hard to do. Okay. Oh, shoot. Probably not the best place to do that, but you can just notch this out. Pretty easy. Okay, it's pretty simple stuff to do with foam. I'm going to poke that and get it out of there. And I'm probably going to do, that'll get in the way of that. No, it actually shouldn't really. Shouldn't be a problem. So we're going to notch it. This is not really my greatest example of this, but because I usually do this kind of stuff off camera. Get this up here. And you'll see just getting that kind of cut. This hobby knife's fairly sharp, but it's not like a brand new one, which is fine because I don't want it to be super sharp. But I want this wire bundle, as y'all can see, to sort of fit down in a notch there. Just get it in there so it's out of the way of my battery. And you can even press it down in there, as you can see here. So it's not in the way of my battery when I'm doing stuff. Here, let me go back to this mode right here. And let me switch to a, let me see if I've got a file here. I might not be able to fit this in there, but I'll try. From the top view, I'll often stick something like a file in here. Just kind of sand that out a little bit because the file's round. And it cut through, files will cut through foam pretty good. So yeah, that's nice. And I'll do the same here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you know, this is just something I just thought that might work well. Let me cut into that. Put that back into the camera. Not everything fits perfectly, so you've got to kind of... Foam's easy to work with. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Foam's easy to work with. It's just hard to do it on camera sometimes. Yeah, that's good. And actually, if you can make it kind of concave, you can get your wire to stay in there probably. Okay. Sorry, guys. Had to blow that out. Had to blow. All right, let's see. Let's get that in there. That should fit in there nice. That should kind of get the wire out of the way. Also, down in here, without knocking my radio off the table, we almost heard a thud of my radio flying off. There's another one down here, right down in here. I'm going to do the same thing there with my hobby knife, without cutting wires. Make sure you get the wires out of the way. With this hobby knife, I'm just going to run it right down in here. Here, let me go to a different vantage point so I don't block you guys out. If I blocked you out, sorry guys, didn't mean to. Okay, I'm just kind of winging this down in here, but this is how easy this stuff is to work with. Trying to get this ready for tomorrow, so that's kind of partially why I'm doing this. So, but if you can get a rough cut of this stuff, just with your, yeah, I cut a little farther down than I wanted to. And then just take your file. I'm just going to push that out of the way. Grab that with this. Usually you can just poke it and take it out of there. There you go. So a little surgical, getting a little surgical. I'll usually do a cleaner job off camera, but this will give you guys a rough idea of how I'm doing this. You don't want to go through the fuselage, it's a little thin. But you're not really worried about, this isn't really going to affect the structure any. And I'm just doing this because I want those wires out of the way. Okay, so. Sorry about that. And then there we go. We can get all these wires now in here in such a way, okay, and I can even probably foam tack those down in there. So you can see how clean, how much nicer that thing is with the wire not sticking in the way. I mean, you can put it almost anywhere, I guess, but I think that's where I'm going to put mine. So my receiver's got to go up front somewhere. So let's see. Somebody's wondering if it'll fly on a 3000. Probably. If you push it far back enough, I bet it will fly on a 3000, but 2200 won't last long at all. It's hard to say. But this 2600 fits in there nicely, so I'm kind of, see, and you can see where that wire bundle gets in the way if you don't have it like kind of submerged somewhere, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So I need to arrange this. Like I said, I'm trying to get this ready to fly tomorrow because me and Gavin are going to fly the you-know-what out of this thing tomorrow. So let me get let's see if I can get this thing, see if I can get that strap down. In fact, I'll probably just put that right there. I think, you know, I think that's probably good for that. Let me get some Velcro. Switch my mode here, guys. Velcro, that miracle fabric of the 80s. Actually, Velcro's been around longer than that. Let's see. By the time we're done with this show, this thing's going to be flight ready. So let's get a little bit of, let me switch my camera back. I'm going to do a little bit of this. Let's do with this without cutting my antenna wires. Actually, let's go to glasses so I can see. All right. Like I said, guys, if y'all have glasses and you can see close nearsighted, as soon as you put contacts in, it's gone. So let me get this kind of tightened down. I'm just going to measure like that. That should fit the bottom of this pretty good. I'm going to take a top one here. Oh no, I just pulled the adhesive off. Here we go. We're going to lock this down too there. I'm just going to measure equal pieces. Let's see. Always get all my Velcro, guys, from Amazon. Buy it in bulk. Don't have to go anywhere. Gotta like Amazon. All right, let's see. So we're going to tape this to the bottom. Get this secured. This is awesome. Nice little plane. All right, let's get this. I'm going to put this. Let me see where this is going to go. This is going to go down in here, right? So I'm going to be a little bit off of the wall there. So let's do this. This is going to go right in the center. Hopefully I'm not blocking that out too much. Sorry about that, folks. Get this right in there. There we go. Get that in place. I just ran it down the center line. Might be a little crooked, but, you know, hey, it's not a perfect world, right? Let's get this in place here. Get this down into here. Actually, I might need to go farther forward than that, huh? Because I've got these things sticking out. Yeah, I probably should have done that a little farther forward. So let's do this. Let me pry that out. Yep, this is a mistake sometimes you make. I'm going to stick this a little farther forward. I don't think it's going to be that critical where I need to, it has to be perfect, but sometimes when you do that, you pull up too much foam that the tape doesn't stick anymore, and you got to use a new piece of tape. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. Actually, I'm going to twist that to keep that. No, I'm going to go this way with it. Just to get these out of the way. And there we are. This is in the area I want it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to unplug my, I am going to unplug my rudder. Just put it in the underside, just so that fits better. Or stays out of the way, I should say. So I'm going to put this receiver down in there. I'm going to run that a little farther forward than what I got. All right. Get that as straight as I can get it in there. There we go.
And then the rudder wire's running underneath, so I'll use something to just sort of push it under there because I don't want it in the way of the servo. And then we're going to take this, run this as far forward as we can because I don't really want that there. This is okay sticking out because I don't care about that because it's not in the way of the battery. This one I do because it's in the way of the darn battery. So let me look down here. I'm sighting down this way, guys, just to see what's happening. And that should be good, I think. And I'm going to try this. I don't know if foam tack will stick to this stuff, but foam tack, the other good thing about foam tack is that it's not permanent. Okay, when you use foam tack on something, you can usually get it off. Okay, it'll pry right off. It stays flexible. So I'm going to put a little bit of that here, and I'm going to try this again. I don't really know so much if that'll stick to this stuff. I know it'll stick to servo wires. Sort of okay, but what I'm going to do is just try to tack this in there. I don't need a lot of it, just a little bit, okay? And you're not actually gluing the wires, you know, you're actually gluing, well, actually, let me go farther back. I just got that sort of in the wrong, no, that's good. I'm going to put this as far forward as I can get it. Those wires might get glued a little bit, but the idea is just to tack them in place so they stay there. You can use tape or something if you want, which I might end up throwing some tape over that. But all I'm trying to do is just tack these wires so they stay against that wall and they're out of the way of the battery. So that should actually work okay. And if I want to use some tape, which I've got some spare tape hanging off my desk from something else, so I'm going to use some of this filament tape, a little bit of this, because I was using this on another plane before. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut a piece of this because I got this laying around. Just because I don't want this thing in the way of my battery. So I'm going to run that here, and that's probably too long. Probably don't need all that. There we go. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to press this up against there. So you probably don't even need to use the glue. You probably could just use tape, but that foam tack may or may not hold, but we'll see. And then, let me take another piece of this. I'm going to run this here. All right, so that looks pretty good down there. I got that attached to the sidewall. I can't really see that. I can't get down there that well, but I'll just use something to push against there. I'm going to take my finger, push it along there. There we go. And then I'm going to cut right here. All right, not perfect, but close enough for government work. All right, so we cut that. I'm going to run this, push that up against there, tape this thing. All right, so now we got all our wires on one side going through this notch. Now I can put a bigger battery in there. So I think we're going to be good to go. We have to adjust throws on this too, is what I'm thinking about too, because the throws on this thing are crazy huge. So, see if I can get these wires out of the way back here, because we may need to come farther back with that stuff. So I'm kind of just looking, sighting. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm sighting down this way because I'm looking at the wires that are in there. And you can see if I zoom, see if I can even show you this. I'm trying to get all those wires. Oh no, that's too close. I'm trying to get all those wires that are back there kind of out of the way so I can push a battery as far kind of back in that hole as I can without them like interfering with wires. And that's kind of why I'm kind of doing that. So anyway, and I think that's it. Let's look at that, folks, from the top side. I mean, you got a nice clean floor now. See, you don't have anything in the way there now. So what I'm going to do is just put this to the side for a second. Actually, I'm going to tuck these wires back in here just to get them out of the way for a second, for a few minutes, because I don't want them there at all. And we don't need a huge battery floor thing going on here. Sorry, I'm in the way. But see, like I said, now we got a nice clean floor space. Nothing's in the way. And what I'm going to do is cut some floor liner here. Let's see where I've got that at. So let's go back to here. Grab my shelf liner here, which I just lost. Let's see. I think oh no, it's right on top of the airplane. There it is. See, the stuff disappears. All right, how many guys we got watching now? 43 folks. All right. Now let's lower this a little bit. Yeah, 80C, baby. Life begins at 80C. All right, let's see. 80C roaring top is where it's at. TNRC Pilot. TNRC Pilot says, what do you see? Needs some hot glue. Yeah, no, I don't use hot glue. I mean, it's just some things you can use for it, but Blenderm tape is good. Yep, Dad's RC hanger. Blenderm works fine. The only problem is Blenderm stretches. Filament tape will not. And also filament tape just happened to be what was sticking to the side of my desk at the moment. So, but filament tape, if you put it on there, it's not going to move at all. You can't stretch it. Whereas Blenderm, you can use it. It's perfect for this. It's just a little stretchy. So Mark Atkins is here from the UK. He's here. Let's see. Dad's RC hanger did make it back here, of course. Steve is from Sultana, California. Thanks for coming, Steve. Yeah, Blenderm is awesome. Yeah, it just everything's got its own application, but either tape, you can use anything. You could use Scotch for this if it's tough enough. And Blenderm is sticky enough, you're right, that it actually will work pretty good on this. So, but anyway, but sometimes what you got is what you use. So rather than going to look for my Blenderm. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to measure this, how I want to put this in here, because I like to use this. You guys can use the Velcro, remember? They did supply Velcro for your battery, so, you know, have at it if you want to use your Velcro. That's a good way to go. And in fact, this battery does have, I do have Velcro on it from an older plane, so sometimes you got to use Velcro for stuff. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a floor down here where I don't have to go too far back. I'm just going to kind of mark it with this. Let me just get, no, I didn't do that right. Let's get this in here. I'm going to go right to here. I'm just trying to mark where I want to cut it at. Sorry about that. You can see I'm just kind of marking it with the scissors. So once I find the actual spot that I want, I'm going to cut it right here. Cut right along there. Get that going. There we go. And that's without my glasses, which is why it's crooked. All right, well, anyway. Let's see. Let me see if I can find, sorry, I'm sticking my head in the way. Let me get my hat on backwards here. Get my hat on backwards. Get this here. I'm just trying to sight this down here so I get the right width to this, which I really cannot even tell. That's why one of the things is kind of annoying about smaller planes, folks, is a lot of times you can't see, you can't get in there. It's very hard to get into some of these smaller planes. So let me mark that, and I think that's about right. If it needs to go more, I'll cut more. So, but let's just go with that. I think that'll, there we go. So let's see. Will that go in there? It just needs to go between. That's a little fat. So let me cut a little line off of there. This time with my glasses. So let's see what I'm doing. Let's see. Let's cut here. Got a custom fit. There we go with that. Here we go with that. Okay. I got to blow some of that junk out of there. Okay, that should work. That should work. So now all we're going to do is just, I'm going to take the plane. I'm going to put the plane up here. I'm going to take this thing, and I'm going to put my Rock Hobby Fire Horse box right there. And I'm going to grab myself some tape to use. I have a tape bag somewhere here that's absolutely gone. All right, I got to find my tape, which has disappeared on me. See if I can find my double-sided Scotch tape. My tape's gone. All right, let me go find, real quick, guys. Get some double-sided tape somewhere, which I have over here. I think I have some more around here somewhere. So, my tape is gone. What the heck did I do with all my tape? Can you guys still hear me walking around, shoveling for stuff? Let's see if I can find, I could have sworn that tape was back here somewhere. But, all right, well, if I don't have the tape, that's okay. I'll use something without double-sided tape. I can't put that on there. Did I put some up there? No, I did not. Let's look under here. No. All right, well, where my double-sided tape went to. All right, well, anyway, we're going to put this in anyway. I'll tape that on. I think you guys have seen that before. I think it's in my car. Actually, let me go look real quick. I think I know where it is. All right, hang on. Oh, here it is, right here. I knew I had it. It's my tape bag. It disappeared on me. There it is. Double-sided tape. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. That should do it. All right. Let's go back to the top view. Let me see if I can find the end of this tape. There it is. It's my double-sided Scotch. All right. Double-sided Scotch tape. Let me go with this. Again, my Rock Hobby Fire Horse box. And we're going to take this. And we're going to take this piece right here, which I think was the one that was going to fit in there. Is that the one I used? Yeah, let me double check. Because there's so many pieces laying around. Yep, that's perfect. That's the actual one. So I'm going to take this, get some double-sided tape action happening here. Okay, we're going to put that down on there. Again, guys, if you like Velcro, you know, use Velcro. That's the best way to go. But I don't like Velcro all over my darn batteries. So I'm going to use tape, which I should have made that longer. All right, let's see. Yep, made that too short. Let's go with that. Hang on a sec. I'm going to put one more piece across the back side there. Right there. Because I missed it. I'm going to trim this. That's pretty much how you do that. There we go. Sweet. All right, so we could get rid of our fire horse box. Put our plane back over here. Let's see, here we are. Where were we? There it is. And then I'll surgically implant this right down in there. It's strategic. All right, so there we go. Again, that's me, guys. That's how I like my battery floor in there. Instead of Velcro. Like I said, I could use Velcro. And if I find it's not working well here, I'll put Velcro back in. But here, let me see if I can pull this out. Yeah, I can pull that. That's good. All right, and that should be that. So we're going to be running, at the very least, this 80 pack down in here. See how I got that room now for that battery, for these batteries to go in there? And in fact, with all those wires out of the way now, I should be able to. This is always the more challenging part of the whole assembly of this, is just getting things to fit sometimes. That's the part that you usually have to mess with a little bit. Put this here, move that battery. I think I should have been a surgeon. Let's see. They call me the surgeon. Let's see here. I'm going to put this down in there. Push that back, because this is going to go as far back as I can get it. And in fact, this is probably going to be good for, yeah, that's going to hold that in there nice. Plus, you've got this top deck that'll hold everything in. If you have to, you can cram a chunk of foam under here. That'll help keep the battery down also. So, but now it looks like we got this secure pretty nice. We just need sort of I need an adapter, one of these, to see if I can find one of those in my adapter bag. Let's see, we're going to see if I can go to a Dean's. I might desolder that and change it. But let's see. We'll go from a Dean's plug, which I'm finding. Yep, this is my adapter debacle. So there we go. I think that'll work. So I'll put one of these here. I'm probably going to change. I might get rid of that Dean's on there too. But that should fit on there pretty well. And in fact, tucking these wires back in here too, that'll also help keep your battery from moving around. You know, if you do, well, negative G's anyway, I guess I should say, is what I usually do with my stuff. So, but yeah, this is all in place. We're about ready. A couple other things I got to do. I'm good with my receiver position. I'm good with my battery floor. It's in there and not moving. And I'm good with my battery wiring, so that's all nice the way that's set up in there. These can plug in whenever I'm ready to go with those. I just need to put my wires someplace. And I will need to put, I'm probably going to run one along here. Here's where my blenderm does come in, because blenderm's nice and thin. I am going to put one right here. I don't know, hang on a sec. Let me see what's the best way to go with this. I will probably, better yet, no, I think I can do, I'm just trying to figure out where the other vertical wire, where the other wire is going to go. But I think because I've got plenty of space, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to tape one right here. So I'll grab my blenderm, which I actually did not lose. It is in here, so, but let's see if I can go with this. 3M blenderm, guys. I think I got it in my Amazon store. So if you want it, get it at Amazon. So it's in my store. So let's see. I'm going to pull this off of here and show you how I'm going to get this on here. So I usually use, oh, that's it. I'm out of tape. No more blenderm. No, I got another thing somewhere of it. Oh, no, that's sticking to it. That's just great. All right, let's get that off of there. That's perfect. All that foam just stuck to it, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, so like so, what I'll normally often do is I'll figure out where that wire is going, all right, like where it is right there. I will put this right here, right along the top side, okay, and then I'll just push that down. It didn't work well. Push this down here so it's nice and straight, okay. You can see how I'm going to lay this down in here. I'm going to put this wire kind of right in that corner. That makes sure that it's pretty straight. And if you use this sidewall for the kind of a guide, that kind of puts it in there. And you just have to make sure that the canopy is going to close on that, which it should. Shouldn't be a problem. A lot of times it may need to get past that, but that's not a big deal. So let me test it and see if the canopy will close with that. All right, let's see. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this down. Close that. There we go. It closes nice. So that's not going to interfere down there at all. And you have visibility on your wire, so you can kind of see you got it running right along there, and it's nice and straight. So the next one I'm going to run is going to be a little different. I'm going to go a little outside the box with this one, and I do this a lot with my my antennas because foam doesn't really interfere with, obviously, with wires signal. You only have to worry about stuff like carbon fiber rod, carbon fiber with reception and stuff like that. So I'm trying to find my, looking for a tool again, guys. I have one that I use that I usually will poke through stuff, but you know what, I can use, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use one of these because this is like good enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this straight down. So the way I'm going to do this, again, got to get a little surgical with this. I'm just going to literally push a hole straight down. I've got plenty of room down here. So without punching through the side of the fuselage, I'm going to put my finger on the other side in case I feel that kind of coming down. But I'm basically going to put a hole in the foam here is what I'm trying to do. Okay, because I'm going to run, because I got no other place to really put it. And I think that's going to be a good place. Well, actually, I can feel it on the other side. But here we go. Got to make sure you don't go through your fuselage, of course, yeah. So let me run that straight down there. Okay, and now I can just tape that. So I'm going to take a bit of tape, grab some more blenderm, which I have here. Let's see, I got some of that smaller stuff. And I think I got another one down here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll just use this. So what I'm going to do with this stuff, and in fact, you know what? Let me go to, if you guys see me there, let me grab some other blenderm, which I have. I also have this thicker stuff, like this. Here, and I'll switch views again. See who all is here, still in the house. Still got 50 guys watching. Thanks for coming again, folks. This is really 2-inch wide blenderm, actually, that I use for other stuff, but you can always cut this down to size. So, here, let's do this. I'm going to cut a piece that's probably bigger than I need, but, all right, so. I'm going to cut that off because I just messed that side of that thing up. All right, there we go. Got to clean my scissors off because foam and tape and everything is sticking to it. So, all right, so I'm going to cut this as best I can. Take that tape off that's in the way. And here we go. I'm going to cut this, let's say like that. That's probably pretty good. So I'll make a 1-inch wide piece out of a 2-inch wide piece. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So this is going to go down here, and then I want to straighten this darn thing out. So I'm going to put this kind of, now it wants to come out. That's great. All right. Let me tape this down here. Actually, you know what? I will put this as best I can along this wall right there. There we go. And then let me peel this away. And I hope you all are digging this. This is cool. This is how I really get this stuff together. This time I'm really going through the whole thing though. All right, so once I got that in place, I'm going to run that tape right across there. All right, there we go. So now, as you guys can probably see that, I've got this thing. Wrong way. You can see I've got this wire going down into the foam, and it's 90 degrees to this one. And it's taped, and it's not going anywhere. I'm going to push this wire, this other antenna wire, just out of the way. I could tape it down if I needed to, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Let me see if I can turn my camera. Oh no! Lost all camera control there. There it is. You can see how that looks. That's pretty nice how that's set up in there. So we got one antenna right here going straight down right there, and we've got our other antenna running straight back. So they're 90 degrees to each other. That'll minimize your signal loss, and rather than balling it all up in there. And this I can put down. You just don't want to run high voltage wires, okay guys, near your antennas and stuff, but that should be okay, just like that. So and that's it. So our entire inside, I'm happy with this. This is ready to fly exactly, you know, pretty much exactly the way that you guys see it. I'm ready to throw a battery in. My receiver is where I need it to be, where I want it to be. I've got my antennas run, and really all I got to do now really is just control throws, guys, and we can do that from the outside here. So just plugging this in and looking at it, I'm saying to myself, this thing's got like way too much control throw. So let's plug it in and take another look at it, because that's the only thing I noticed, really. Let's get this like this, get all this stuff. You can see all the massive tools and stuff that you have to sometimes get out to make this all work. And there we go. So let's take a look at this. Let me zoom. Let me come this way a little bit. So, and we'll get a little zoom in on there. Let me power this up. Let's get this going. Okay. There we go. All right, we're in like Flynn. So now I'm looking at my ailerons and how much they're moving, and I'm looking at how much my elevator's moving. Okay, and I'm saying to myself, this is all ready to fly if you're going to do Harriers, okay? If you're going to do 3D flying. That looks like a lot of throw. I don't know if we really kind of need all that. I guess I could dial the travel down, but it almost seems more like we would probably be better off with an inner hole. I don't know, I could be wrong. If anybody's flying this, let me know if you guys have had any luck with these particular throws. But you know, what I'm looking at here is it looks like it's excessive throw. I mean, that looks like a lot of, but I guess I could dial it down a bit, but something tells me if I go to an inner hole, I'll get better resolution out of everything. So let me see, what's the travel on those? I think going in a hole or two is probably going to be better. So, and in fact, if I go to my screen here, let me go up to here. Let's say I just go to Dual Rate and Expo. And I go to, that's my aileron, I think. Let's go to aileron channel, and let's put a wing in here where we can see it. Okay, so I'll go, that's my aileron throw. And let's just say for kicks, I go to switch, and then I flip this switch because I want to assign it to that switch, because I want some rates going on there. So if I move that around, so in the upper position of that switch, let's see, I'm going to go to rates. I'm going to bump them up to 125. Let's see, do I still have full travel? Yeah, I still got full even endpoint travel. There you go, on the servo. So hell, I got a lot of throw there. And if I go to a middle rate, oh, excuse me, I'll leave it at 100. Okay, and then at a low rate, probably bump it down to 70-ish. Let's see, so that gives me a good amount of travel as is, even on the low. That seems almost like that's more than enough. In fact, that's about 10, geez, that's about 10 millimeters. So again, I could take my rate and dial it way down, but then I'm like losing resolution big time. Oh, Dad's RC, looks like have to look into that, Rich. Yeah, let's see, gotta go, general goods, let's see, use Blender, yeah, that's all good. Hey guys, it's so late I can't stay up, so watch the show tomorrow, Rich. Yeah, no problem. Arthur RC, yeah, hey, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, you can watch it on the rerun. So, but it looks like I'm losing my resolution, or I'm going to lose resolution if I dial anymore, because look, that's about 10 millimeters of travel right there. And it says 10 to 15, so when I go to the high rate, I've got like 20. So now that might be cool, but the elevator, it just might be too much. So probably what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to move my holes in a bit. So let's go around here. I'm going to flip this around. Hopefully you guys can still see this, I hope. We'll see. Is the way that I have this, I'm going to go in a hole or two, because I think that's will make it a little bit more flyable, or less movement and all that stuff. I could be wrong, but just, you know, kind of based on what I know, it seems to me like that's way too much throw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this rod out of here. And using probably a needle file, let me grab one of those. I'm going to grab, let me see if I can find it. I'm going to grab a round needle file if I have one. This one's not quite round. Let me grab a file. I got one file there. See if I got another one that's round. Oh, here we go. Here's one. There's a round file. These are needle files. You can see where I'm going with this. Let's see. All right, let me put those away. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes you don't know what tool you need until you get into it. I'm going to go in 2 holes, because I don't think we need all that. And I can even go in 3 if I want. But let's see. I'm going to just kind of open it up a little bit, that hole. And I can actually open up the other one too, right here. Okay, so depending on which one I want to use, I can use. So you don't want to make it too big. You actually want it to be relatively snug. The other thing you're looking for too is this thing 90 degrees to the bottom of the wing, and so is the other aileron one. You want to make sure they both line up. But once you got them both, I'm going to go here into the second one if I can. Let me see, just widen that out. That's good. It's not too tight, not too loose. Okay, and I'm going to snap that on there. Now I'm going to look at my throw and see what I got. So much, much better. In fact, let me take, before that dings that whole thing up. Now that's at high rate. That's at maximum rate. Okay, and that's like 15 to 20. So yeah, shoot, we don't probably need all. Actually, in low rate, it's 70%. Look at that. It's giving me 10. So, in fact, I am probably going to go in farther. In fact, I'm going to widen out a bunch of these holes, so, you know, while I'm at the field, I'll be able to kind of adjust that how I want. But I think it's just too far out. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I'm going to go in again on this. Okay. If you want a super fast roll rate, you know, just leave it as is. But it might be too sensitive for a lot of people. Flight stabilizer will kind of go through that. But this is how you mechanically kind of maintain your resolution. Okay, without and leaving it 100%, because you want to be at as close to 100% as you can. So I actually went in there 4 holes. So, and that's just my own kind of experience with it. Let me come out a little bit on this. Let me go in there. No, that's too much. Go in one, go in one more. And that looks about right there. So I'm going to snap that on. I'm just going to use a tool for that. All right, let's see. That should tone it down a bit. That should keep our control where we need it. That's at high rate. High rate is showing like 15. That's about 15. Let me take a look at that. Let me just do a quick measurement here. Let's see what we got. That's 20 actually now at high rate. Okay, so that's at 125% travel. So yeah. So if I go down low, I've got about 15. 10, sorry, take that back. Yeah, it's about 10 to 12. I go to the middle, that's about 15. So that actually gives me a better rate, I think, going in. I went in, like I said, 4 holes, folks, so you can kind of get an idea of what happens with that. Let me see if I can get close enough to that. You can see right there. So I went in quite a few number of holes, went in 4. So, and that seems to give me better throw, or at least what I think is, you know, better throw for an A-10. So I'll do that to the other side as well. Let me go here, and I'll get this lined up so everybody can see. And let's see what we got here. Let me zoom in on this. Yeah, all right, we're going to go a little closer. All right, you guys are getting the in-depth inside scoop here of what we got going down here. Pop that off. I just think that outer hole's too much. Like I said, I've done this before and been wrong. You go fly and it's like, holy smokes, this thing is too sensitive. But I don't think so. I mean, I've flown enough A-10s that it just seems like that's way too much throw. And I'd rather go up to 125% travel, okay, on my servo and have the resolution than stay with a low resolution, you know, dial it down, and then you kill your resolution and you kind of kill your fine control of the airplane. So I'm just spinning this, folks, to keep it. There we go. I'm actually widening all these holes because when I'm at the field tomorrow, I might go, oh my God, I don't have enough travel, which I don't think will happen, but then I'll have the holes opened up and I can kind of put these wherever I am without taking out without grab my file. Okay, is this thing moving? This gear train is moving a bit. All right, that's what I'm seeing happening a little bit. That's not the best, but it seems okay. So let me get this. Let me line it up in that 4th hole. You don't have to widen these very much. They pretty much, you only have to do just a little bit. And you want them to be in there pretty tight. You don't want it to be loose, so you don't want to make a big old hole where there's a ton of play in there. So now I'm checking my trailing edge right here to make sure it's kind of lining up, which it's not. So I'm untwisting this. That's what I did with the other side. See if I can get this lined up right. Nope, that's not it either. Let me go in one, half a turn, I mean. Let's get that lined up, and that looks pretty good. So I'll snap that on there. All right, and there we go. So there's our full travel, which is like 20 millimeters. I go down to 100%, that's about 15 or so. I go down, that's about 10. So that's going to give me maximum resolution, great control, and I'll give you guys a better view of that from here. And I'm speculating, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, just ask my ex-wife, she'll tell you I'm wrong all the time. But here you go. So there's full travel, 125% movement, moving it in 4 holes. And I got killer resolution. It should roll like a Banshee like this. And then I go to a medium, and then I go to a low. So low's at 10%. Those are big old ailerons, so this thing should roll like crazy. So I think that's where the elevator or aileron should be. Now I'm going to kind of address the elevator, and that should be the last thing I tune on this thing. This is all the tuning phase of everything. And yeah, that is a lot of travel, folks. Man, that's like 3D style. So I'm going to go back into this menu right here. Wrong way. I'm going to go into this menu right here. Sorry, I'm going to go to elevator. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back to the switch, and I'm going to assign, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm going to assign this switch right here. So as I flip it, it assigns it to switch C. I'm going to press my button and activate it. I'm going to go back to my rate switch, put it at high, and I'm going to dial in right in these windows 125 because I want maximum resolution, maximum travel out of my servo. Okay, I'm going to go to the mid rate, leave it at 100. I'm going to go to my low. For my low, I'm going to put about 70. These are just starting points, so I got 70, 100, 125. So now I can go back, look at my deflection of my elevator, and I'm going to see at full travel, oh wait, hang on a sec. I did that the wrong way. Oh no, I got the wrong switch. Sorry about that. At full travel, upper switch position, you can see I've got 3D style rates there. And I've got travel all the way at the very end of my stick. Same thing the other way. Got travel at the end of my stick. So yeah, there we go. So I'm going to set this up in a way where I have less movement in there. So let's take this thing. I'm going to flip this over again. We're going to go to our other camera again. And we're going to look in here. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to look at this arm here and see where we're at. Again, we are on the outermost hole, which I think is probably too much, is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to take this off of there. You guys can fly this stock without doing any of this. I'm just watching so much travel back here. I just don't think I need all of that with this airplane. So you do not want to lose that screw in there or you're kind of screwed. Or not screwed, depending on how you look at it. So let's go back here. I'm going to open this up. Let me go back, zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to undo this. Just loosen this one a little bit. And then I should be able to pull this out of here without any big deal. Just grab any pair of pliers. You can actually do that by finger here. Let's just do it this way. So we can pull this off of here. There we go. I'm going to slide it off of those. And I'm going to adjust this nut here in the bottom, I think, is the plan. So let me go back to another tool. I'm going to put this in here. Grab another tool of mine out of here. Grab this right here. My old Tamiya wrench that I use for pretty much everything. One of these. All right, so if you guys can see that. This just makes life easier. Okay, just doing this thing. So I'm just going to put this here and just unscrew it. That's all. Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff to do. And I'm going to move it in a hole or two. That's all. Nothing complicated. They've got thread lock on this. I can feel it. And you have to be careful. Sometimes you can break your easy connector. You can snap those threads right off of there because it'll, sometimes that thread lock they put on there is really tough. And there's enough thread lock on there that I shouldn't really even need to put any more on there. So you can see it on the end of there. So, but who knows, maybe I'll put some more. And then you can see which hole they use. They use the kind of the next inner one. So, and I'm probably going to go in from that just a little bit. So let me go down. Let me loosen this. I'm going to take this off of here. I'm going to pull this off. I'm about to lose that thing. So there we go. Sorry, I keep bumping my upper camera. And where did I put that thing? Right there. I just lost. No, I got it right there. So let's go. You can see the size of the hole difference. They had to make that hole pretty big in there. Okay, so I'm going to go 2 in, I think. Simply using this. Just a needle file, just to open up that hole a bit. So it'll fit in there nicely. Let me grab, I've got a different one I was using that seems to cut a little better. So, and you could drill a straight hole through this if you want with a drill bit, if you got some small drill bits, but I'm just doing this to kind of save some time. So let's go with this. All right, you don't have to do all this stuff, guys. I'm just trying to refine this. This is where I think it will fly best. I will not know until I actually get it out there and try this stuff out. Okay, but it should work okay here. And we'll let you know during the flight demo tomorrow how this thing works out. So, yeah, let's go with this. All right, let's cut this. Let's see if I can get this in there. Da-da-da. Let's see if that'll fit now. No, not big enough. So you got to make a pretty big hole out of that to get it to fit in there. But you don't want it super loose. If it's loose, you're just making play in the system. Just drop that easy connector. So I'm going to widen this up a little more. All right, here we go. I'll usually run my thing backwards. You run it forwards and backwards just a little bit. If you run it too far forward, you can split the thing, and you really don't want to do that. So cut into that. All right. Yeah, this is what you go through sometimes to make all this stuff work. Run it forwards, run it backwards. Again, having the right size straight drill bit will be a little bit better or easier, but I think we've got this. So that should be good. See if that fits. Yeah, that fits in there perfectly. So there you go. It's in there pretty nice. Goes right in there. And what I'm going to do is grab my hobby knife, wherever that went to. It's gone. Where did I put that darn thing? Scrambling for tools sometimes. That stuff can get away. All right. Let me see if I can find that, folks. See if I got that down in here. I just need a little razor here. Just going to trim some of this off because it's kind of sticking off. I want this to mount flush, which I'll show you what I'm doing. There's a little bit of extra plastic kind of right on here. So I'm just trimming this so it's flush. So the easy connector will stay flush on there, that's all. And okay, once we've got that, we're going to stick this right in there. And if I find the elevator throw is not enough, you know, I'll just put this back where it was. So, of course, I have this on here. I'm just going to screw this back together. There it is. And I can feel there's actually a lot of thread lock back on there. But if you don't trust it, put some on there. That's all. And I'll actually put, what I like to do is just foam tack the end of it a bit. Just stick a little bit on the bottom, and that will give you sort of the thread lock that you need. So, and that kind of serves the same kind of purpose of that. And I'll kind of unscrew it a little bit, screw it back in, make sure it's got that glue on there, and that's it. Should be good to go. You want it to be pretty tight. You don't want it to move, but you want this to be able to rotate, okay, but not wobble, okay? That's why it's got to be like tight enough, but not like that tight kind of thing. So I'm going to tighten that up just a little bit, make sure that's all working. And that does look pretty good. That looks like that's about where it needs to be. So there we go, and the nut not turning. So we should be good with that. I'm just going to put another little dab of glue on the bottom of this. Again, it's contact cement here, folks, so you don't really have to worry. Let me get this in focus. Contact cement's not going to be permanent. It'll stick to metal, it'll tack to metal, but it will come back off later. So we've got this in place. Now that we've got this all where we want it to be pretty much, and this seems perfect, what I'm going to do is just try to slide these, if I can pull this off. And it's going to be hard for you guys to see this totally. But I'm going to try to take, let me grab a different pair of pliers to do this with. All right, here we go. I'm going to take the two of these, if I can pull this off. I'm going to put these through the holes. There we go. So I can get that in there, and then get the arm back in place. And that should be all that I have to do. Make it 90 degrees. And there we are. That's it. So that looks nice. Now let's see what kind of movement we have now. And again, that may or may not be enough, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to put that screw back in, and so I don't lose it, and I don't have my magnetic screwdriver right here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end of that, which is just foam tack again, folks. And I'm going to tack my screw on there so it doesn't fall off as I'm putting it in there, because there's just a pit of darkness. If I drop that screw in there, it could be gone forever. All right, that's nice and tight. Then I'm going to take this one, put this one on here, and we're going to tighten that up. I think you guys can probably see it from there if I get my hand out of the way, right? So let's see. I straighten out my elevators. While I'm doing this, I need to be looking. System is idle. There we go. So I'm looking back at my elevators and I'm sighting for those what I want to be neutral. And while I'm doing that, I'm tightening this. So you kind of have to do that with while you're looking from behind. And I'm going to do that while I'm going to turn this around this way. And that should be my final adjustment. I'm not going to do anything else to this. So this thing's ready to go. I just think that's probably going to be a better starting point for all of this. So let me put this in here. I'm going to look back here and see if I can get these things to be straight, as straight as I think they can be, both of them. And let's see if I got it there just from sort of eyeballing it. Yeah, let's try that. See if I've got some elevator. All right, that should give us the travel that I want to have. And we'll look at that and see how that is. You want to make sure they're equal. But now I've got 100%. I've got much smoother control. So let me just check my trim, because it could affect my trimming if I got to trim up or down. It could leave you with a dead band, which sometimes it can if you need more or less. That's the only benefit and downside of going beyond 125 travel, but this isn't giving it to me, so good. Let me go back down to, there we go, that's in the center. So as I flip this around, I'm going to leave the magnetic catch off for just a second. I'm going to flip this way so everybody can see the elevator movement. And I probably need to even these up, but it's hard to do while I'm showing this to you guys. Let me zoom in here. There we go. Raise the desk. There we go. Let me turn it now. And I get some movement there. There, that's about centered there. So I want to make sure my elevators, both elevators are even. So there's not one up, not one down, that kind of thing. They're even, which they look like about they are, but I'll sight it later and make sure they're straight. And make sure I've got, that's 70% travel, okay, up and down. This is 100% travel, so you can see how much that is. And then this is 100% travel. So that's after adjusting the throw. Now you notice one side's coming up more than the other, okay? That's probably happening because you have a rotary servo, okay, that's turning, and when it moves to one side, one's going to go up or down more than the other. So at the end points, you're going to have that with a rotating servo. That's probably why they put it out on the farthest end of the arm, so you maybe don't have that problem as much. But I'm really interested in flying it here in the middle section, which is where it's mostly straight. So anyway, you can get an idea of just moving your servo, just horn a little bit. You get a lot of resolution back. And right now, I should be able to trim. This is full forward trim. And still, I've got resolution forward, and I've got full resolution back, even though I'm moving my stick. I've got movement here towards the back end of my control. Same at the front. I've got full travel. So no resolution's lost there. So I should be able to trim forward, trim all the way back without losing any resolution. But now I've gained maximum resolution I can get out of those controls. And that means it's going to be easier to fly. Okay, if you just dial back your expo and leave that stuff on the outer arms. So, but what I am going to say this is, for right now, don't totally quote me on this because I need to fly it tomorrow and see what it's going to do. And I think with these travels, these are my high rate travels now at 125 throw. These are my low travels. So when you look at the low travels with those arms in, that should be more than enough to really fly this like crazy, okay? But now I got better resolution and everything. So that's it, guys. I think we're Those are some smooth sounding fans, folks. Now that we got everything buttoned in, this thing for me, the only other thing I'm going to do is just make sure both of those are straight off camera, just to make sure everything's nice and straight. But that's it. It should be flyable actually right now. It should be ready to go. The only thing I really need to check now with my battery and everything is just my center of gravity and how that works. So, and actually, now that I have it all plugged in, I'm actually behind my CG. Oh no, I'm actually, yeah, I'm just like a hair behind it or hair on it. So I ought to be able to put that bigger battery in. So let me try that real quick. Actually, I didn't have this magnetic hatch on here, but let me pop that on in place. And let me try my thicker battery, my bigger battery, my really sweet ADC 2600. Let me unplug this real fast. Let's get this out of place. Boop. Get that off of there. Let me see. I'm going to put that all the way. That looks like that's about right. I mean, that really should fly that way. So I'll probably take off first time when I take off in mid-rates, and we'll go from there. See what we need from there on out. Yep, this is the part that sucks about small planes, is getting the darn battery out of there. Sometimes you just can't get, sometimes you need something to break the Velcro barrier. That's what this is for. I'm actually sticking this between, okay, my Velcro so I can get the darn thing out. So let's pull this out. Let's take my bigger 2600 roaring top, and I'm going to punch that all the way, get that all the way up there. Let me see if I can get this to stay on there for 1 second. See if I can pry this in there. Again, downside to small batteries or small airplanes. Can I get that down in there? Yeah, see, that's not. It's a pain. That's why I like the big 105 jets. Okay, this should go all the way back there. Actually, that's pretty much at the stop in the back. So let's try tightening this up just where it's at. Again, I'm going to use my ruler here just to sort of break that open with right there. And let me get that down in place. There we go. Now it's strapped down there. That will go back. Yeah, this battery is definitely not going to go anywhere the way I have it in there. All right, and then let's try. I don't need to plug it in. Well, actually, I can't plug it in right now because I got two different connectors. But let's see what we got. Let's take this and put the canopy on. And let's see where the CG is with a heavier battery. This is all the kind of stuff, guys, I'll do ahead of time at home, you know, before. CG is a little far on the forward side, maybe about 40 or so, but it should fly well there. It should do the job there. So, and that's it, folks. We are done with this baby. It's ready to go. Questions, comments, throw them at me. I'm ready to go. New X-Fly A-10, folks. At Banana Hobby, check it out. All right, let's see what we got. And that is it, guys. What do we got here? Hey, all. Fred Katz is here. Dad's RC hangar still here. We got 38 guys, so a lot of guys stayed a while. This has really been a long, yeah, Fred Katz says fast roll crash for me. Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to avoid, because I think the throws on this are set up too far, or too far out, or too much. And according to the manual, and I could be wrong, guys. I'll fly this tomorrow. I'll let everybody know and go, oh shit, I was totally wrong. But this is where they have your throws, is on the outer hole for your aileron. Okay, and your elevator on that second one. But I moved them in and just went higher on the resolution, that's all. Because the throw is tremendous. I mean, there's so much throw. But now with it set up the way it is, it doesn't have that. So let's see what we got here. Let's see. Arthur says, yes, I'll watch that carefully as mine arrives in 10 days. Yeah, fast roll rate equals crash for me. I have the E-Flight A-10 64 millimeters. Love it, but the nose gear is super weak. I think the nose gear is tough enough. I mean, we had it on grass, and ours was doing okay. Gonna mate in my FMS F-16 and Carbon Z tomorrow. 3Ding a A-10. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. The nose on the 70 millimeter Viper is not so good either. Great looking build, Rich. Nice finish too. That's from Ian Bowen. Great stuff, Rich. Good luck on the flight. That's from Dad's RC hangar. Thanks for coming.
Nice, yeah, the devil's in the details. That's what I'm trying to show you. I really went into nitty-gritty today where I usually don't do that in a live show. I usually do all that stuff. But I just figured let me get it set up because I'm flying this tomorrow, so actually the way it is now, it's ready. I just want to check I'll check the rear of the tails, you know, more and make sure that it's set right. And I'm looking at my back tail and all that glue job we did looked real nice. Everything's on there good, so I think we're safe to go. And everything. So there's my glasses. Let's see what else. Someone said worst plane to fly. I'm not sure. Rich, do you recall the aileron travel on the BAE Hawk? Yeah, no, I don't. Mine only has about 8 millimeters up and down on high rates. Let's see. Jono Edwards says unreal work. There's Jono again. Which Hawk TNRC pilot? Which Hawk were you talking about? Were you talking about the little one, the Arrows plane? Because that one I actually did leave alone. That one I left alone. But here's the interesting thing about this, is that you can see what I'm talking about with this thing. If I zoom in on this, and I'm going to try and line this up on the camera so y'all can see, and I honestly didn't even check this. But now that I'm looking at it, okay, I don't know if we can see that in there. Yeah, here you can see it right. I had it a second ago. There you go. Can you guys see the horn in there? And you see the Z-bend? Look how far in they went on the horn on the servo. That Z-bend is clearly visible. And I never checked this one before I went and flew it. But the reason I did that, why is it not focusing suddenly? Put something on there for it to focus on. There you go. But you can see that Z-bend way in there. They didn't put it on the outer hole of the servo horn. They moved it in several holes. Now, before I flew this plane, I checked the throws. The throws were fine. But you can tell here that they already went in several holes. In fact, as I'm looking at that, yeah, they went 3 or 4 holes in on that horn, and this thing is already set right to fly. This thing flew perfectly. So I could probably plug it in real quick. I got a battery in there, but let me show it to you. I'll plug it in. Let's see what we got, because you're asking about it. Let me fire this up. Okay, that's not plugged in. I know that. So let me switch. There's the 50 Hawk. There we go. Plug this in. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's got to, hang on. It's got to initialize. It's not initializing because I'm moving it. Hang on. You got to leave it alone for it to initialize. Okay, let me do this again. Hang on. Let me get this straight. I'm going to try to initialize it here. Hang on. Let me unplug. You got to have it level. If you're moving it around, it doesn't want to initialize. Give it a second. There we go. Okay, now it's initialized. It didn't like it because I was moving it, so that's why you got to keep your plane steady when you're powering it up. But here, let me go telephoto here. We'll go full on here. There we go. Back up. Okay, so here's your rates. Full aileron and full elevator rate here. Let me get my throttle. Throttle's off. Okay, we got flight demos of this coming here soon too. But here's, let me turn the stabilizer off. That's full aileron travel. Okay, at maximum rate. That's low, or that's medium and that's low. So yeah, you don't want them moving very much. So they should be on those inner holes. And basically this airplane, it just demonstrated the point of why I moved those horns in. Because my ailerons are moving like this on this A-10, okay? My elevator's moving like this, and you don't need all that. And if you just dial it down with your travel, with your rate, okay, you're gonna kill your resolution. You'll be able to fly it, but it won't have as good of a feel unless you do that. So, TNRC pilot, did I answer your question? I don't want to take the hatch covers off of there because
because it's set right, and I don't want to tear those off of there. But if I go to the upper view here, this will probably give you even a closer or better view here. But this is at full aileron travel. Let me put this down on here. That's full aileron travel at whatchamacallit, at 125 travel. That's at 100, and that's in low. And this thing flew low to medium. It didn't need high. So yeah, not a lot of aileron travel at all. Elevator travel, this is, let me see if I can get to the elevator. This is at full travel, which we were not using. It was too much throw, okay? And then this is medium. Let's see, and this was high. Or sorry, this is low. Sorry about that. This is high. Let me see if I can do this with one hand here. That's high, that's medium, that's low travel. And we were using low to medium on this, okay? And I don't know where they have it on the servo. Oh, I do know where they have it on the servo. In fact, actually here, this demonstrates the point once again. If you look at the servo right here, and I'll see if I can zoom on that again. You can see here where they've got this thing. They already did this one right correctly from the factory. You can see on that servo arm, move this out of the way, that they went in several holes. It's very close to the servo center, or about halfway out. If you got it too far out on the end, again, you got to dial back, you know, your resolution, or dial back your travel, and then you're basically destroying all your resolution, which is that kind of fine control input. And that's what makes the plane easier to fly. I mean, you know, the greatest flyer in the world, you know, really can't fly an airplane very well that's hard to fly. I mean, it just makes it tough. So this way makes it just kind of easy. So, and that is it, folks. That's all we got going down here. So that is it for your A-10, guys. She's good to go. Let's see what we got. These are 4 cells, Fred Katz. Yes, this one's 4 cell. That other one is that 4 too? Arrows Hawk. I think it was 3. Let me look at something. Shoot, I forgot from last week. Too much going on. Here, let me do this. Let me go, actually, let me change this. Let's do this. Let's put the websites back up. I'll throw that up there real quick. And I'm going to go arrows. Actually, let's do this. Let's go to the Banana Hobby page there. Or let's go click on this. This is my website here, or my web thing. Let's see, if you guys go down to, here it is. If you guys scroll down to where it says, where is that stuff? Hobby Zone. If you guys go to my Hobby Zone link, and I'm going to go click on it right there, that'll take us right there. So there we go. There we go. Arrows Hawkeye. And that's new that they just got. And there's the Hawk. You guys can pull that up. And there's also the T-33. And we'll have the flight. Like I said, well, the Hawk flies beautifully, guys. We just this week I got 1 or 2 videos out, and I got to crank this one out. I got me and Gavin flying it. I got me flying it, and I got both of us flying it. So, and the specs on it are, I think, was it 3 cell? Shoot, yeah, it was 3 cell on the Hawk. So, but you get that from Hobby Zone. So if you guys use my link, that helps me out. So, you know, I have the link in all the videos, even below this one as well. So, nice Hawk. But anyway, yeah, Banana Hobby, folks. Let me slide this window open because I can't on my screen see what's going on. And let's see, there's the live stream going on. Still got 30 guys here, which is, again, good for a Saturday afternoon. And yeah, there was the shakedown there of the Aerofoam MB339. But yeah, you go to Banana Hobby again. Here's where you'll find this thing. There's at the top the X-Fly A-10, and you know, that's what we got, guys. So I'll get some pictures over to them, and they'll put all this stuff up there. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, this one is 3 cell, or sorry, 4 cell, and the Hawk is 3 cell. So by Arrows, and you guys can find the links in the description of all my videos for all this stuff. So if you don't contact me, I'll show you where it's at. Let's see, TNRC says, thanks a bunch. It looks about like mine. Yeah, you don't need much travel, man, just very little. Can you get afterburners in these size jets? I don't think you can get center burners, okay, but you can put LED lights in the back, circular ones, or make your own and use, contact Ray at Gooniac and, Hangar 51. Hey, Rich! Hello, pilot. So Kenny's here from Hangar 51. Check out Kenny's stuff. But you can contact Ray and just order the LED controller, okay? And you can use any 12-volt lights, or should be able to. But I don't know of anybody that makes center burners for stuff this small, but you can put some LEDs back there and just get somebody's controller for it. All it really is a speed control is basically what it is. So, Ian Bowen, can you get it? Oh, he already said that. Was worried here there wasn't enough. Yeah, there is enough. There's plenty. They don't move much. So, Ian, T7A, great. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the T7A as well, which I have right there. And I'll give you a size comparison here. If you guys are interested in the T7A, Banana Hobby has that as well. And let me go back here, one click. So you go to Banana Hobby, guys, you can check out this airplane here, X-Fly, and you go here, there's your T7A. I took those pictures in my front street. There it is. Here, I'll give you guys an example. The T7 is also, it's a 64 millimeters 4S. But let me go back over here. I'll pull it out down for you guys. Let me pull this down, give you a size comparison. This is 64 millimeter, okay? So y'all can see, let me close the website window back up here. Give me 1 second, I'm maneuvering here. Websites, let me close that down. That'll give you an idea of the comparison of these two. They're basically about the same size. It's just the T7 has a less of a wingspan, obviously. So, and the A-10 is just, looks like it's about the same length. The length of the T7 is about the wingspan of the A-10. So, but you can get an idea. They're about the same size. All of these are available, guys, at Banana Hobby. I got links for everything below. So if you use the link, that does support the channel. We appreciate that. But yeah, this is a plane me and Gav flew in that video. So both these things fly great. I haven't flown the A-10, of course, but I've seen the videos. It flies really nicely. So again, folks, 64 millimeter, twin 50. So super, super nice. Let me put this back on the rack. Get that up in there. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. Let me get back to that. And that is it. I think we'll wrap this up, guys. Let me cover a couple last minute items, which I don't think I already talked about, but I should have put this up earlier. This is the NASA Jets event. Or NASA Salute to Veterans. We're going to be there in 2 weeks. So come check it out. Lots of sponsors, guys, as y'all can see. CARF models, RTL fasteners. Shoot, I can't even read that. What is it? Powerbox Systems. That's not one of my sponsors, but it's, yeah, Powerbox Systems. And then, of course, Sullivan is also a sponsor. And then we're bringing in, at the top, you can see from FMS, we're going to have a free giveaway airplane there from FMS. So probably like an F-16, like a 70 millimeter. Banana Hobby's given us probably a plane and a stand, so Banana Hobby will be throwing in probably like a T-28, I'm guessing, or one of the warbirds or something. I'm not sure yet exactly, from Blitz RC Works. And then Zap Glue is another sponsor. JR is another sponsor. You can see right up there. So lots of sponsors at this event. So NASA Salute to Vets. It used to be the Salute to Veterans event. Now they're calling it the NASA Salutes to Vets Scale Contest. I don't the difference, but this is the first annual that they've changed the name, I guess, and it's going to be an event. So 2 weeks, we'll be here. Come check it out. Lots of free giveaways. JR is throwing in a radio, so check that out. I want to thank Banana Hobby, FMS. Oh, and Ernst Manufacturing, of course. Ernst stands, organizers. They're throwing in a bunch of stands and organizers, too, for the event. So I'll have those for everybody. So I'll be bringing you guys a plane from FMS. I'll be bringing you a plane from Banana Hobby, maybe a stand or two from them, maybe an aluminum if I can get one. And then Ernst Manufacturing stands. JR's throwing in a radio, RTL fasteners, and those guys. I think they're throwing in some other stuff, but I'm not sure. Sullivan, I don't know what they're putting in, but Zap Glue, I think there's going to be Zap Glue there for the raffle and stuff too, I think. So anyway, check that out. And then the next event will be about a month down the road, which is going to be the Tangerine EDF Jet event. I'm going to put more sponsors on this, guys. So both, I think, Banana Hobby, Ernst, and FMS, again, will have free planes for this. I just didn't have time to sort of manipulate this flyer here, so, and put that stuff on there. So if you guys can make it, both of these are at the Ocala Flying Model Club. So both of these events are going to be at the same club. It's just that the first one, the NASA one, is going to be November 13th and 14th, so check that out. And the Tangerine event there, Tangerine EDF Jets, December 12th, 11th through 12th. So I'll be there both days on both of these things, I think. There's a plan unless something goes crazy. So 2 events coming up. Check it out. We're going to be posting these around. So if you know, I probably should have showed this in the beginning, but I kind of lost track of stuff. So, but we'll be posting these around once I get the flyers kind of situated, because I just added some of the sponsors and stuff to it. I'm trying to give them credit for, you know, giving free stuff to everybody, which is kind of nice. So, system's idle. All right, nothing's plugged in. Let me turn that off. Let's see. Let's get this on the table here. Oh, no, there's my glue. Let's put the top back on it. I got to clean this mess up. All right, let's see. Let me get this on the table here so we can get rid of the Ernst stand here. Let's take, let's put it in this hand. Let me get this down here. I'm surprised Gav's not watching, man. Gav's going to be flying this tomorrow. I'm going to let Gavin fly this thing. So he likes A-10. So, okay, where's the jet flying? Here it is. I'll throw it up there one more time. Let's see. Let me go websites. Let me get, this is it right here. This is going to be at the Ocala Flying Model Club, okay? And so is the NASA Salute to Vets event. That one's right there, but here, I'll just put that up there. So Ocala, both of these are at the Ocala Flying Model Club. They're just about a month apart, okay? So and we'll be sending flyers out for all this stuff. We'll be putting these on Facebook so everybody will get this. So both are there, just different. Hosted by the Ocala Flying Model Club, both of them. So you guys will be able to see that all there. So anyway, and then let me check my clipboard, guys. Let me see what else I was going to add to this. Let me do this. Let me get rid of the website stuff for a second here. Let me see if I can activate this and shrink it a little bit. Yeah, we're going to go down to that event. I'll put that there so everybody can kind of see that. Yeah, there it is. And then let me add this one back, and I'll shrink that one. Let me see if I can do this. Hopefully you guys are all seeing this. And it's not just disappearing into a void or something. So yeah, there's the 2 events, and we'll be talking about that. Let's see. We talked about all that already. I'm just checking my list. Let me see if you guys got any more questions coming up. All right, let's see. Yeah, 3-cell on the Hawk, but we used 1300 millimeter and it flew fine, but I felt like 2200 is better. It seemed like it needed the weight up front and it flew better with it. Vertical's a little less, but not really that noticeable. So, yeah, good size for throwing in the car. 21 Cyclone, 215 Cyclone. I got you the jet fly-in. It's right on the screen, so check them out. And have you seen the X-Fly Twin Nova? Yes, it will be coming. And actually, that X-Fly Twin Nova, it is coming to Banana Hobby. So we're going to have it there, too, for everybody. So Fred Katz said, thanks for the good show. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to look at one thing here that I wanted everybody to know, too, because I got some messages from folks, is that, guys, again, DYNAM models is now at Banana Hobby. So if you guys want DYNAM airplanes, Hawker Hunter, select airplanes, not all of them, just kind of some of the nicer ones. But and I forgot to write this down, so I got it here. But there's a 1400 and 1500 millimeter trainer, okay, that's coming from X-Fly to Banana Hobby. And from DYNAM, there's going to be a Waco and a Catalina and the Hawker Hunter, again, that I have right there. I may do that Hawker Hunter unboxing next weekend, so stay tuned for that. And I've had it for months. I've just been so busy with stuff. And I know a lot of people have seen it already, but now it's at Banana Hobby. I'll be showing it to you. Again, X-Fly models, DYNAM Hobby models at Banana Hobby. More are coming. And yes, the Twin Nova, you know, it'll be here. So, but hopefully that kind of answers everybody's question. A couple notes, guys. Let's see. Couple notes also when it comes to pre-orders and back orders, guys. I've been flying in and out of California last month, and every time we turn LA and some of those areas, we fly over the coastline, there's just a backlog of shipping containers, okay? And that's kind of what's slowing down all the airplane deliveries and stuff and model aircraft stuff. So a lot of times those are pre-ordered, a lot of that stuff. So if you guys want it, pre-order it, because once the stock's gone, it takes a while to get something via shipping with these container issues we're having and everything. So I don't sell airplanes, as you guys know, but you know, if you guys want something, get it, because by the time you order it, it's gone, and then you got to wait for a container, and it's just so. Anyway, that's something to note. Also, anybody who's looking for MiG-17 spares, I think it was a 1500 millimeter. You can contact Banana Hobby because they probably have some spares for it. Is what I found out. So, and I think that's about it, guys. I covered all this stuff that I was going to cover in my my stuff here. So, but again, guys, at the top of the screen here, Ernst Manufacturing, DYNAM, Zap Glue, all at Banana Hobby now. Somebody's calling me. I'm not sure who that is. So. Any last minute questions, guys? I'll let you all go. But again, check out the A-10 twin 50 millimeter. I have a hard time saying 50 because it's just weird. Twin 50 millimeter at Banana Hobby. She's set up and ready to go. Me and Gavin, as long as the weather's good, we're going to tear around with this thing tomorrow. Fixed gear, potentially a belly land plane, and we'll be flying it tomorrow to show it off to everybody. Flies on 4-cell, and it should be pretty cool. Goes together real easy, so check this out. You know, check out. You know, pass the video around if guys want to see the building of it and stuff. As always, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and pass the videos around. That really supports us. If you guys got friends that haven't watched any RC Informer stuff, if you kind of pass it on to them, that helps us out. More people see it and everything. So anyway, I think that's going to be about it. We've been on here for, holy crap, we've been on here for have we really been on there? 3 hours and 38 minutes so far. Holy smoke. So. Still got 25 guys here, so that's not bad again for a Saturday. So, but that is it, folks. I think we're gonna wrap this up and call it quits. Any last minute kind of questions? If anybody wants to throw in there, Jono Edwards said, "Great show, thanks for coming, everybody." And we are going to wrap it up. Again, 2 events coming up. We're going to be there at these 2, and stay tuned for another live show, probably tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next weekend. And we're going to get this out and fly it for everybody. Check it out at Banana Hobby. And as always, guys, I appreciate everybody watching. Last call for questions or any comments anybody wants to put in there. I'll kind of give it here a couple of seconds here. Here, let me do a quick, I'm going to throw my website thing back up just for kicks. Because I'm kind of curious at the end of the stream. I always kind of suspected that maybe everybody else being online at my house, kids, have caused my streaming to go low. So I'm going to do a quick speed test because I'm usually up in the 500 to 900 range on both of these. But it seems like once I get online, it drops down to like you see 150, 200. And I don't think there's anybody in the house on it either. And I'm thinking, man, if a few people are on, maybe that is slowing me down. We have 1,000 megabytes a second normally, but I'm online right now, so I'm just kind of testing the speed test here. This should be up there a little higher, at least a few hundred. Yeah, I think there's people downstairs streaming. So so that's probably what's going on. But we've got ample speed here, as you can tell. I think as soon as I shut this off, and I want to look at this now, as soon as I shut this down, the live stream, these numbers will pump back up to 900, which is normally where they are. So I may need to test my bit rate or my sound or something to get a little less, maybe to kind of get a little less, a little more speed out of it, or less usage, I guess I should say. So, but anyway, guys, check these out once again. At Banana Hobby, they're all there. Banana Hobby's come back, baby. They're here with all kinds of cool stuff. So check it all out there. And yeah, I think we're good to go with that. So there's my live stream chat log. I think I got a couple guys making a couple comments here. Let me see what this all shows. And let me see if I can scroll down a little bit. Hang on a second. There we go, all the way to the bottom. There we go. So what do we got? All right, Fred Katz said goodnight. We'll see y'all. What happened to Pete at Banana Hobby? Pete's not there anymore. Pete is MIA. I'm going to tap a key because Fred Katz retracted something. So yeah, let me get rid of that. All right, guys, that is it. Stay tuned. More videos coming. We'll see you guys. See y'all guys next time. Like I said, probably live show next weekend again, and we'll get some more flying videos out for everybody. So yeah, Pete left ages ago, guys. He's been gone for a while. So, but anyway, guys, we'll be showing you lots of videos from Banana Hobby stuff. Stay tuned. Thanks for coming, guys, and as always, we'll see y'all next time.